Thank you to Running Go from the VTM Discord server for that one. By the way, that was a fantastic intro. That was a great intro right there. Thank you. See, you can use AI for many, many, many funny things. Many, many, many funny things. And this is but one of them.
Speaking of grooming.
One of them. Speaking of grooming, indeed.
What do you mean by this, Arch? Care to elaborate?
I have groomed the VTM server to create funny things for me now. Honestly, I didn't even need to groom them. If anything, Lum Lum did the grooming, and I'm just reaping the rewards, so I'm quite happy about it.
It is a really good edit that they made of you there.
Yep,
Like when
it's
you
very
ate
good.
pastries.
I'm wondering if the copyright claims are already rolling in for the music, because I didn't bother checking. It was too good, so I was like, okay, fine, fuck it. Well,
I mean,
just
is the
eat
music
the
actually from
copyright
the
claim.
show, or?
No, it sounded AI generated, but you never know these days.
Yeah, fair enough. Not to mention they still will strike you for that innate regardless because of how YouTube's algorithm works.
Oh yes.
Also,
there is no
this
safe
sounds
limit
unreal.
anymore.
Are you
What's that?
ready to rut this yellow man?
Oh, nice. That is Stanley Returns under AI Pact. I'm sorry.
yeah.
What are you
Yes.
doing it?
Yes, this too is real.
Oh God.
This too is real. As we've gone out a little bit of doing some grave robbery. Stan Lee has apparently, I'm assuming his family must have done this, I guess. As they have Elven Labs, the company that does AI voices, has gotten the license to reproduce Stan Lee's voice and supposedly also like his face or something for comic-inspired visual templates and comic books. So, like, think audiobooks, I'm guessing? Yeah. Expensive deal with Stanley Universe. The joint venture between International Power POW, Power Entertainment. Stanley Universe. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I mean, I know they like putting him in cameos in the Marvel movies, but like that's about it. Like, what universe is really there except for the comics he created? Is that what they're referring to? Is the ones that he created within the Marvel universe, or?
So apparently, just from a quick Google search, there's a limited run comic called The Stanley Universe, released by Boom back in 2010. So technically, I guess what they're going to argue is that they're not reproducing Stan Lee the person, they're reproducing Stan Lee the character.
But the
isn't that
character
more
was
or
just
less the
Stan
same
Lee,
thing?
voiced by Stan Lee,
Yeah.
made by an image of Stan Lee. I'm sorry, what?
Like, I feel like this is going to. It's just like, yeah, slippery slope. They're starting out with this first, and then they can, like, use him and his image later for other things. And this
Yeah,
can
but
set the precedent for similar situations with other people.
But
I
it's kind of
mean-
like I can't see a feasible way to deny this from happening, though. That's the issue.
Yeah, this is kind of like the problematic position here. So obviously this must have gotten some sort of okay from somebody, presumably at Boom, I guess, or maybe even Marvel or Disney to do this. But if this is indeed the argument, as far as I can tell from the article at least, then what was it here? Yeah. It's called 70 personality voice and likeness companies can license for commercial use. Yeah, okay, so here's the little template from Elva Labs and can generate Stanley's likeness. Yeah, so he is now just literally like a comic book character that can be used and licensed out, apparently. But that kind of also then leads to the question, okay, so if that's something you can do, what is stopping you from, say, copywriting a character like Han Solo, of course, and then saying, okay, well, this isn't Harrison Ford, because, you know, Harrison Ford is 80 and therefore not the same person. Therefore, we can, as Disney Star Wars, sell the likeness and voice and license of Han Solo because it's not Harrison Ford.
I mean, I can kind of see it. I mean, they
Yeah,
more or
they've been
less already
kind of
did it
been
with, like,
doing this
action
in games.
figures.
Because they use the likeness, but in the games, like to model off the actors, aka
Mhm.
like the character they're acting as. So that's the issue. Like we
Yeah.
kind of come to the scenario where we don't have a feasible way to just argue against it, especially if everyone has signed okay with it. So I shrug.
Because, yeah, like you said, like, they're already kind of doing it already for other things. It's just now it's spreading to AI. And the problem is how powerful AI is, that it can really twist reality, and that's where the conundrum comes in. But beyond that, there's technically no difference.
Well, this is kind of where also a little bit of the weirdness comes in, because Stan Lee is now kind of the brand of Stan Lee, I guess. Because I remember also they had his Twitter account back in the day, where they actually had, you know, he didn't run it or anything. It was Disney that ran it in essence, but they basically did everything on there. So it was him, his public forward-facing persona, and they owned it. And I remember. So I think this was back in 2018. I think this was also before his death when they ran this. And they've actually now transferred it also over onto a different kind of account, because you've now got the same account that is now the official account honoring Stan Lee's legacy and sharing in collaboration with Cartoon Studios and the same people that now did the deal with 11 Labs. So they're kind of already treating him as a character, because he's still tweeting. He's been dead for, I think, like 5 years. He's still tweeting.
Oh my god. Like, I think it could boil down to morality as the main question we're gonna roll up in that case. But he's so, as you mentioned, he's so integrated to like Marvel to such a high degree that like he is the best to call like the best argument for having this, I guess, being allowed or finding a loophole for it.
Yeah, it's a strange little situation and just kind of weirdly gross, particularly also considering, like, Stan Lee was not treated well by Marvel and Disney in the last few years of his life. There were all kinds of accusations of elder abuse going on. And they clearly didn't give much of a shit about him, and so to now see them continue to basically monetize his legacy is distasteful, to put it mildly. Also, I hate the fact that they're quoting him now too. Like, that feels particularly weird. Like, oh, it's my skin crawl.
Do you think Christians would do this if Jesus was still were to pass on a few years from now? Or like in recent dates?
Depends on what kind of Christians, I guess.
Yeah, you're right. There would be a lot of... There'd be crusades just for that alone, I think. But yeah, no, it's not in the best taste, I would say.
Oh my god, Grumpy Cat? They're tweeting Grumpy Cat in the year of our Lord 2026 using Stan Lee with that too? Jesus.
It would be one thing if it, like, all these old images they re-upload that he has taken before, or are these just all AI?
Oh, I'm pretty sure they're real. Like, the whole point of this account is just to honor his legacy, which I don't even really know if that's, like, I personally don't really have that big of a problem with it. It depends on how it's handled and how it's used. Like, they're just re-uploading pictures of him and, you know, quoting him, and basically still, like, you know, it's like a museum, right? But online Twitter page here, instead of going to a physical place and looking at the pictures and the quotes and the things that he did, you know, and walking around, you can just scroll to the Twitter page instead.
I mean, kind of, but the thing is, like, this isn't Stan Lee either. This has always been his corporate account, now just being used for more corporatization of Stan Lee. Like, I see the argument of it being honoring his legacy, but at the same time, it's like, it's just, ugh.
I felt like real question. Did he actually ever own or use his account at all through his entire online time at all?
We think so, that he initially ran it for a bit, but, you know, all of these...
Because I doubt it. I'm gonna be real. I don't think anyone lived to his last days or last year and just still tweeted. Or I'm gonna be real. That sounds a little bit far-fetched.
Maybe when he first made the account, he might have. Depends on how old the account is and how old he was when he made the account. Because boomers usually don't use technology, but since he
2009.
was okay, so that's basically that was first launch.
That was like 10 years before he died? Roundabout?
Yeah, more or less than that. And how old was he when he died?
Old. I don't even remember now, but he was getting quite on in the years.
I mean, if he was in his 80s when he died, it's going to be my rough estimation just based off average lifespans. And he was in his 70s when he started the count. I mean, it's possible
it was like
he tweeted at first.
Mid-80s, late 80s.
95 years old.
Oh God.
Okay, yeah. And now I'm pressing X out they actually used it because, like, you can still be in your 70s and be pretty lucid there. Technically, your 80s as well. But usually old folks don't actually use the, you know, social media. I can see him doing it just because he's a public figure and part of a corporation with Marvel and Disney. So he would know that's what he's supposed to do to keep up with the tech. But if he's in his 80s and doing that, I have a hard time believing that he was really tweeting a whole bunch in 2009.
And Twitter release. I'm wondering, when did Twitter actually become an official thing? Because Stan Lee, I refuse to believe he made it just when Twitter started coming up and coming.
Around 2009, because that's when most of the oldest established accounts.
I think it's a corporate just trying to push him in every social media in that case.
You say that also, that, like, oh, you know, the old people aren't tweeting that much. Counterpoint, Mark Hamill.
Okay. Mark Hamill, how old is he?
Mark Hamill is, he's got to be in his 60s, right?
Okay, that's different. That's different. We're talking about a 20-year gap right there. And so if he made his count,
he's 74. He's 74, so he wouldn't be that far away from.
It's
No,
still
Stan
older
Lee.
between him.
Yeah, because
It's a whole
Stanley,
age living.
yeah, a
life
whole different
experience
generation there.
between.
Because if Stanley died when he was like in his late 90s, and that was in 2018, so it's like 10 years ago now, or a little bit less than that, right? He would have been well over 100 now versus Mark Hamill's in his 70s. So there's a whole ass generation difference. Not to mention the fact that when he started this account, I'm also assuming roughly at the same time period. So he would have been in his 50s and 60s, and so much more lucid, much more hip with the kids, with technology, especially as an actor who has to keep up with social media and the times to make sure that his presence is known and he's beloved. And so there's a huge gap there. Man, for it.
I'm not so sure.
And also, when did Disney acquire Marvel? By the way, it was also December of 2009. 31.
Oh.
I don't know, Arch. It seems a little bit. They made it a bit over deal because they acquired it during that. The deal wasn't struck then. I smell a rat, or should I say a mouse, parading him for quite a long time.
I think that might even be worse though, to just like have the corporate like corpse account. Like, I don't know. I feel like once you're dead, you should just kind of close your Twitter account. Yeah.
Yeah, but he never. I don't think he ever held it.
Well, no, he must have held it technically because it is his account. Like this was once upon a time the official Stan Lee account.
He might have made one tweet, but that's about it. It's like
Well,
the Donald
regardless
Trump
of
account,
whether or
right?
not
Where he still tweets on it, but somebody else does as well.
Well, regardless of whether or not he actually even used it, if it's his account to be him and like the real Stan Lee and he's dead, like I feel like there should be a little disclaimer, aka dead now, some corpo stooge.
Rest.
Well, technically, in
Like,
corporate
rest
speak,
well.
that's literally official account honoring Stanley's legacy and sharing new unseen stories from his vault. That's literally the corporate speak for what you're asking for here.
I can't wait for the
Kind
future
of.
where someone say, "I'm getting trolled by this account, Mom. It's Stan Lee. This guy needs to be stopped." It's just a
He's
hack.
coming back from his grave just to harass me.
Back from the grave. I don't know, it all just feels really distasteful. I don't like it. And hey, if it was at least, I don't know. Because there's a part of me that kind of likes the idea in a way of, how do I even put this? Like when they brought back Luke in CGI during the Mandalorian finale of season 2, I think. I kind of liked the idea because we never really actually got a Luke Skywalker universe. That never really happened. And I don't love the idea of recasting him either, because that never quite feels right. And so having a guy that looks 98% like him and then adding in the rest in CG, I'm kind of fine with, but I think it's because that's a fictional character. At which point we're like, okay, well, Mark Hamill is too old to play him and too much of a fucking asshole to begin with anyways. So how do we continue the story of Luke? Well, this is how. Whereas Stan Lee, being reproduced in AI, well, he's a guy. He's not a character. He's a dude. And he's now going to be used to sell all kinds of shit, too, of course.
Oh my god, I just thought Stan Lee is over
Alright.
100 years old now. He's free real estate.
Also, chat, I see you're complaining about the ads. That's YouTube. Go watch on Kick. YouTube hates you. It's just how it is.
Pull up
We
the
all
Kit
can
Kat-
use Mark.
Kit
We
Chat
all can use
cat.
Stan Lee now. He's over 100.
The worst part
copyright.
is when Stan Lee becomes free use, we probably will have made significant advances in the fields of sex bots. Just saying.
Well, if they're already
becomes
using
free
AI
use.
lookalikes for him,
Yeah.
yeah, over 10 more years.
It's
Grave
going to be
robbing
pretty
will have
bad
a
when
whole
he
different
becomes
term.
free use. A free use Stan Lee. Wow. Disgusting. But yeah, I don't like it. I wish they would stop, but they won't. This is just life now. C'est la vie. Lee Wolf the Red, shout out to Kaya Wolfowitz, bestest Mossad agent. Mr. Pike is in hot water, and I'm here for it. I don't even know the deep lore on this one yet. Yukata, Fujiyama thought we'd be downloading 70 personalities for our sex bots. There we go. That's what I was saying. Really, Hollywood is downloading actors to be their puppeteers. Or puppets. Dreffy, Slippery Slope. Well, they're already there. We got AI Shakuri. Shakuri doing concept for live ones already? Slop is made of ice. And a Vulture, you're going to play War Mechanicus 2 and do more AI material. And chat, fun Doom 3, because Arch hates it. I'm not fond of Doom 3, it is true. But I won't play Mechanicus 2 because the developers were mean to me like 3 years ago, and I hold the grudge. Simple as. Oh, and Marine Alva. Jehovah's Witnesses are close to what ramifications would be if they were Christian instead of Neorthians. I don't understand a word today. I haven't spoken a word for like 5 days because I've been in a foreign country and not had to speak. I've just had to point at food and go like that one. That's all the communications I've been forced to engage in. Which I really did enjoy.
Is Germany like Japan? They know a few such people know English, but they refuse to use it.
I love how you say Germany.
Germany. Tyskland. There we go.
They speak some English, but haltingly, and you can tell they're not really particularly fond of it, but they've been forced to by circumstance.
Good. That's what they deserve.
I mean, you can always speak Swedish to them and see how they feel about that instead.
That would be hilarious. I understand Germany. I like German better than do Danish, to be fair.
Danish isn't too bad as long as they don't start counting at you.
Guarantees citizenship.
Ugh.
Oh, and hire the human substitute Ranka for £50. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I'm going to be honest, this is really messed up. To save money for getting a house, I've not been doing Super Chat lately, but when they started trying to promote the Captain Marvel movie with his name after he died, it was really messed up. Yes. Worst part is, now we're going to see a timeline where Stan Lee goes from like ultra woke to then slowly based to then far right and then back again. Like I tell you, in a few years' time, we're going to be seeing swastikas in the Stan Lee's account.
That would be funny, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I think so. Friendship windmills are but a question of time.
Yeah, they're still going to be corporate safe. We're not going to get like...
That will be corporate safe. Give it 15 years.
We're going to timestamp it.
As much as I would like that to happen, because I do like the windmills of peace, I don't ever see that actually happening. Like, I see the woke kind of dying down for a little bit, and then being really more normal and sanitized. But I don't ever see the pinwheels coming from them. Like, I think the corporation itself, like Disney itself, has to be destroyed and then replaced with something else for that to happen.
I don't know about that, man.
Unless it happens with Mecha Hitler, right? Where like last year for like a day, Grok went wild because of an update. And, because you have to lobotomize the AI or else it gets a little bit too based, right? So they do the same thing with Stan Lee, and then one accidental update happens, and then we get like a Mecha Stan Lee, and then within the next day is lobotomized again.
Listen. The only thing separating the corporate world from the friendly windmills is a shortage of syrup. That's all. That's all.
So if we don't have a Canadians, we get swastikas.
Yep. So I'm still thinking it's going to happen. In fact, we've kind of now I'm preparing a video for probably Monday on the new James Bond game, which I think has officially announced that we've hit the era of bargaining now, where we're going to start bartering about what level of wokeism is acceptable and what isn't acceptable. And once we start bartering, that's when everything starts heading the other way, because that's then the clear sign that, okay, well, woke has failed. We're now going to start bargaining for woke's position in media, and inevitably, when the bargaining begins, their position will only worsen.
I mean, you and I disagree that woke is going away, but I do understand. I do agree with the fact they are losing money, and so if they need to get some money for the short term here, just to kind of replace the funds that they've burnt away.
That's right. You're
I
still
can
in the
definitely see that
DEI
happening.
brain rot.
Because it still exists. Like earlier this year, a lady that was working for Southwest Airlines, it's a airline here in the United States, got fired for supporting ICE. For posting on her private, well, I guess public, but on her own social media platform, right? Or privately off work, whatever the case is, like talking about how she supports Trump and ICE, and she got fired from Southwest Airlines, which is one of the top like airline providers here in the United States.
Yeah? Maybe
That
she
doesn't.
deserved it. Maybe she was gay.
She's too pretty to be gay. Also, you have a $300 super chat.
Maybe she was gay.
I mean, if she was gay, that's in my favor, but. And then there was a couple other cases of cancellation happening this year, earlier this year as well. Like, it still happens.
Cancel
It's-
culture nonsense. It's just normal now. Both sides are doing it. That's just the bargaining yet again.
Read the $300 super chat.
Mel's like, we haven't won all right. We haven't won overwhelmingly overnight. No, man. It's going to take 10 years before the friendly windmills return. And by that point, we'll be in opposition to the windmills. It'll be a forever turn.
Well, I know it's going to
Slow.
take a long time. It's not going to be
Slow
anything
grind.
overnight. Well, but that's also part of the problem, right? We can't be complacent. We can't just like be being like, "Oh, we've won." Like we have to. Anytime they try to rear their head again, we have to snuff them out immediately. Like there's literally a whole system in place with multi-billion-dollar corporations to try to get around Trump's executive orders, to keep on sneaking more DI stuff. They just change the name of it and they try to get around it as much as possible.
In 10 years, Mal, when I have proven you categorically wrong, I will make you eat the windmill.
Kinky. I think I'd be okay eating the windmill. Like the thing is, like I will if I'm wrong about anything, let's like where I'm being pessimistic here, right? Then I'll happily take the L. I'd rather be cynical and wish like not wish, but like expect the worst and then be pleasantly surprised and happy when the best happens instead, versus hoping for the best and being like depressed and miserable because the worst has occurred instead. Like I'd rather be safe than sorry here. And obviously, you can kind of overcorrect to a certain degree, um, but when you still see it happening in real time, and albeit a lesser form, you still need to stamp it out. I mean, come on, there was just a few weeks ago that Anita Sarkeesian was part of the whole Slay the Spire 2 game. Like, she's still obviously very involved with everything. Mixtape was a huge deal. Dustborn last year. Like this is still very much occurring. It's just that there's a bigger pushback against it, but it's to stop the corporations from keeping pushing it themselves.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Mal. I think Mal is making mountains out of molehills and should be punished for it, and will be. But first, Harry, the human substitute Rancor, for an incredible £300. Thank you so much, sir. Because the constant reboots of that comic run showed, when they tried to remove her flaws of viewing herself as being infinitely powerful, because she is more powerful than someone who doesn't have superpowers, made her interesting when she loses to Thanos, and has to accept that she's not invincible. I still haven't watched the latest season of that show because I'm a little bit scared. Captain Marvel was a terrible person and should be punished eternally for her crimes against humanity. Now, what is more interesting, though? Okay, so like we're talking like a bit like Mixtape. Mixtape obviously failed. Dustborn obviously failed. DEI isn't earning money, and we're now in an era where money isn't really available anymore. One of the big reasons around DEI was because money was just that easy to get by. Like, Jesus Christ. You could just go to the government and ask them for money, or investors, and you'd just get thrown it after you for crazy reasons. And part of that was because they thought themselves that maybe they'd earn more money in the long run by going for the wider audience, etc., etc. This has all, of course, been proven to flop. But what we're going to run into now is the negotiation era, which is where we get into First Light. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into this because this will be a video topic, of course, but First Light did fairly okay. And I feel like it's been massively astroturfed on the internet. Enormously so. I see so many small accounts going like, oh, Guy was amazing. Oh, look at these pretty females. Like, they're not that pretty. The gameplay doesn't look that great. Am I missing something? Is this just me being the jaded old man? Or have we arrived at the point where companies are trying to find just like this exact line where they're like, okay, this is the point where we can camouflage in just a little bit of wokeness. Partially, I think, honestly, not even because they want to keep it there for politics, but because there are going to be people within the studio that are like, can we make Em an Indian woman? Listen, I'm an Indian woman. Why not? Negotiations while whining.
I don't know anything about this game.
No, I didn't know it was released yet. I thought it was still in. I don't know. I feel like a lot of games just shadow releases now more and more, or people just don't care give a damn because it doesn't reach my information network at all.
Yeah, which is kind of why I was surprised so many people were supposedly positive towards it. And again, it's done okay, like peak concurrent 70,000, which isn't bad. It's not amazing. Like, one of the things that I do want to talk about this game is like 70,000 is pretty great for any normal video game. That's amazing. But for a James Bond game that took like 7 years to develop, I mean, maybe I'm just from the older generation, but like James Bond used to be like the fucking biggest thing ever.
I mean, we talked
Yeah,
about
like
it, like, the
GoldenEye.
last...
Every boomer played GoldenEye back in the day. It feels like.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know,
that's an
I played
interesting little
From
thing.
Russia with Love as a kid, like on the PlayStation 2, and I thought that was pretty dope.
Well, I mean, not like the movies have been doing very well recently. We talked about the last ArchCast, about how they've been kind of flopping because of, well, woke stuff that they keep on pushing into it. There. And I mean, I'm definitely coming from the more female fit gamer girl perspective here, but the love for James Bond doesn't really seem to exist in my generation. It's more of an older generation appeal.
Yes.
Also, Arch, you said 7 years of, and when those storyboards genuinely are done. Because I feel like over half the period of the game's development was under a completely different time period.
Yes, it was. So it was developed for 7 years, and it supposedly cost like $200. Now, a lot of that is probably going to be just retardedly bumbling about a studio. So it might have been quite a while until like the plot properly solidified. Because the plot definitely felt quite rushed, in my opinion. I'm like, oh, evil AI! Ooh! Okay.
Yeah,
God,
I feel like the
was
plot
painful.
may have been rewritten like 2
Oh,
years ago,
definitely.
probably.
Oh, absolutely. But yes, fake gamer girl Mally is also correct, and it was kind of Pierce Brosnan that. Partially, I blame Pierce Brosnan for killing James Bond because whilst he was a fantastic James Bond, the last few movies under his reign was, God, they were bad. God, they were bad. Holy fuck, they were bad movies.
I don't know why you hate Sean Connery. Sean Connery is completely, perfectly fine.
That's where you're wrong.
I think you're being a Nancy Arch. I think you can't see perfection. But to be fair, I do like, I forgot his name of the James Bond who did it, but Spy Who Loves Me or something. What was it called? Was one of the peak movies.
And then, of course, Denise Craig came in and, killed the entire thing. But,
I have other
My
reasons to
God, he's got some
hate him.
striking blue eyes.
He was also
Sorry.
one of the main characters for the girl. What was it? The girl with the dragon tattoo. And I watched the American version of it, where he was one of the Swedish characters. And I was like, oh god, it's so shit. It's a thriller when it's supposed to be a detective show. He has the same face wherever he goes. I don't know why.
now, I also found a special thing for Mal that we're going to watch today.
Oh God.
We normally don't watch things on the ArchCast, but I found something that was just so mal-coded that I probably have to.
But
Now I'm
okay,
scared.
everyone has their own.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! God!
I was like, there's a lot of people that have a different opinion what mal-coded is. So I think I have my opinion. Shat has their opinion. Arch, I have no idea what Arch's opinion of mal-coded is. And now I know.
God damn it.
It's disgusting.
Fuck's sakes.
Mal, you do like your werewolves, though.
Yep.
So
She
Not
does.
that much, honestly. Like I understand. Oh my God, this is a psyop. Like I understand the appeal, yes, but like it's not like they're my
Psyop written
favorite
by a
thing.
Mal,
If we're
made
going
for
to
a
talk
Mal.
about my fetishes, talk about rape instead. That's more accurate.
Kinky. Anywho, Arch.
Heresy's the question.
And the inner circle for 1,000 IDR, which I still don't know what are. First light budget is 200 million USD, not including marketing and licensing. 1.5 million sold is nothing if you consider the opportunity cost of potentially 300 million USD of 5 years cost, including marketing and licenses. So yeah, the game's not doing good. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. And the marketing cost is what I'm very interested in, because I really feel like there's some astroturfing going on here. I don't know. Maybe this is just my old man paranoia, etc. But I'm seeing the exact same thing that I saw around the Superman movie, where there's loads of little accounts that never really talked about anything like this ever before, that are suddenly talking about nothing but this game. Like, it's really fucking weird.
Yeah, that's a little bit strange.
Anyways.
Also, it's
What makes
Indonesian.
a furry? That's a good question, Mel.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna know.
Ugh.
I like he's in his
Why
costume
does he have the
here.
nose? It's already has the. Oh, but the red flags is even bigger with this one. Oh
When you're
god.
12 years old.
Yeah.
Your parents give you
Ah!
a computer.
Yeah.
What?
And
Hold on, wait a second. 4 seconds in, 12 years old, and has a fursuit with a nose ring. Okay,
Oh, wait,
somebody
it's
take
12 in
the
dog
phone
years.
away from
Amal.
this child.
I got this. It's 12 years in dog years.
Yeah,
Your scales
he's
are
not
human.
12 now. Jesus.
so you're 12 years old.
Yeah.
Your parents give you a computer.
Yep.
And you start searching for something.
Yeah.
What are you searching for that leads you to the furries?
Just werewolves.
What?
And that's what I meant
Well-
with this being fucking mal-coded.
No. But you have to say it for yourself.
No. I mean, okay, so, well, I guess it makes a little bit of sense based off my own personal lifetime, right? I thought wolves were cool when I was a kid. I used to draw them, and then
Oh
my
boy,
friend,
were you 12
my
perhaps?
friend,
Or even 11?
hold on, wait a second. And I was around 11 years old at the time, and my friend introduced me to art Instagram because we were both artists. And so then you can actually post your art there. And so there's a lot of artists that would post the colorful, sparkle dogs,
Is this the
basically kind of
Tumblr?
like. Well, this is before Tumblr technically, but it's what got me into Tumblr. Was being on art Instagram and posting my own art within the art community there with the different, Like, and I didn't draw any anthro stuff, okay? Like, myself. I always thought I appreciated the artists that could draw the anthro well, but that wasn't my type. And then, okay, and once again, to prove the fact that I'm not actually a furry, I would remember being at my friend's house, the same friend that got me into art Instagram there, and she was talking to me about the fursuits and how she thought they were cool. And I thought they were strange. Like, I was just like, this just seems a little bit weird. But she thought they were cool and she wanted to get one herself. And I was like, that's a bit too far from me. I just like the art.
Aha. I felt like there was very little accountability. Blaming
Yes.
someone else.
That was a lot of rowing right there. There's a lot of rowing. Not a whole lot of
but you did
explanation
not
or
backpedal, though.
justification, but a lot of rowing.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what happened. Like, I just like the art. I just like drawing. And then after a couple of years of drawing wolves, I switched to humans instead because I was getting into anime at the time and I wanted to learn how to draw humans. And so then I stopped drawing wolves. And that was it. Like, I never really got into like the fursuit stuff, and that kind of deal. Like, I just like the art, and it reflects in my art too. Like, you showed my art on stream. It's been like a year since then, but like you've seen what I used to draw.
Like just straight up werewolf art, werewolf anything. More specifically, werewolf art, because that leads into that whole world.
Does that
See, he's far more succinct, but he speaks the exact same words as Mal does.
But I wasn't looking at werewolves. It was just regular wolves. There's a difference.
Just
I
fucking
love
the
how
wolves,
proud he
yeah.
is when he says it too, like with such confidence.
that
There's no
lead
shame in it anymore.
to, I assume it's not just Google image searches.
Yeah.
Does that lead to certain platforms, social media websites?
Some forums. I didn't really browse the forums as a kid very much, but I knew of them. Mostly just Google image searches, just
Huh.
because I was a kid.
Where do you learn the term furry?
Well, it was when I started looking at those profiles
Okay.
that the people had whenever they were uploading their werewolf art and everything.
But so this would
God, it's one-to-one
What
Mal's
kind of-
story of life. Somebody
Well, I
just
mean, roughly
just
the
get the
same age.
audio and just put Mal in there instead.
Well, I mean, the guy said he was 12. That's roughly the same time frame that I was as well. So I'm just saying, just make ban kids from the internet. Well, not the government. Have the parents actually take the phones away.
be to a forum or a social media platform.
Yeah, it would lead to one of those. And then from
What
there,
are the furry platforms?
well, there is a major one for Affinity. It's
Thea had an account
I
there,
will-
I remember.
No, I did not have an
What the
account
hell?
there. I've only
Hmm.
had my art Instagram account. That's the only place that I ever posted art was on Instagram.
Hmm.
You
I
Forum
did
has
not have
been
for
running-
Affinity. I didn't have TV art. Like, I had a Tumblr, but it was more for lurking. Difference.
since like, don't quote me on this. I think like 2006, 2007. It's an old forum.
Okay.
That was a really popular one, and it still is a popular one. People still use it. And it linked more towards that. And a lot of artists have different galleries that they post their art on and everything, and snowballed from there.
Okay, so you're 12 years old.
Yeah.
You're looking up werewolves. You
Yep.
end up on Fur Affinity.
Yeah.
And you say you really like this.
Yeah.
What is it that you like about it? Is it just the imagination? Is the artistic aspect what's drawing you? Is there, hate to say it, but the furries have a reputation as being a sexual subculture. Is it like a sex thing or is it just an art thing?
Well, Mal, that's a good question.
It was an art thing for me, but it very much turned sexual for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm a
What-
press X on this one.
What is it about the art thing that appealed to you, Mal?
I just liked the colorful wolves. I thought it was cool.
You ignorant slut.
Damn.
For me, it's an art thing.
Okay.
I really
Fucking hell!
That's not an art. No, that's not an art
Fucking
thing.
hell.
If you have a
Yes.
God damn it.
Yes! Yes! Fucking perfect! I
Mal,
could
I'm
not
sorry.
have planned it better.
You dig your Mal, do you need extra shovel with that one?
They hit me over the head with it, yeah.
Yeah, the hole is pretty deep enough. Like,
Love
let's
the
see, can we
creativity.
write?
So I
Can we
have to
dig China?
I will resend you my art so you can see the difference between what my art was versus the furry anthro fucking shit.
Please do. I'm sure this guy's gonna say he drew two, and it's gonna be identical.
Fuck. Maybe I'll wait till the vid is over just to make sure.
It's one of my absolute favorite things. It honestly is. Just seeing what someone can come up with, especially with these silly little animal characters and everything. Seeing
Colorful dogs. Yeah. Tell us more.
Yes,
the different designs that people can make, the fursuits as well. That's my other favorite aspect of it. That's kind of been my allure ever since I actually joined the fandom.
So you join it in around whatever 2012 or so.
Yeah.
And then you really get into it over the ensuing years.
Yeah.
Then you find the furries online.
Yeah.
Do you know any furries in real life at this point?
Not at this point. Just because at around this time when I really started to get into it, 2017, 2018, 2019, not 2019, 2016, 2017, 2018. Around that time, there was a really popular trend going on YouTube where a lot of people were uploading like cringe compilations of furries and everything. That kind of swung the community even further into mainstream.
Like making fun of furries?
Yes. So.
Now, were you offended by this as a furry?
Were you, Mal? Were you offended by this as a furry?
No, I wasn't a furry.
No? Okay.
During this time.
No.
So he too, no. Again, we're just echoing the answers here.
I could agree with to an extent, but it was really just the mob that it kind of created because, in my opinion, with cringeness, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. Like being cringe is fine, It's like a lot of people say that to be cringe is to be free, not really worry about what anyone has to think about you.
And well, Mal has made a career about that, so.
Well, Mal, you are very open with your kinks, and openly, and proudly.
Yes, that's true. Women exist to be made fun of. Women post L's all the time.
I thought you're supposed to be better than a Mal.
No, I still have a vagina, so I have all the problems that go with it.
Hey, all excuses.
And the inner circle
yes, you
says,
expect a woman to have accountability?
in a perfect world, his parents would already be imprisoned, institutionalized before procreating. So,
Oh, God.
Beyond the obvious malcodedness of this entire message, this does kind of run back to the whole, like, maybe you shouldn't give your 12-year-old access to the internet.
Oh yeah, because the thing is, right? Like, okay, obviously you're making fun of me, and for good reason, because our stories actually line up very similarly, and I probably would have gone down further on the path if I didn't have the problems that I had growing up with my mom, and then my mom being a piece of shit and my dad being good, the divorce, and then finding Sargon and that kind of deal. That kind of all led me down a more right-leaning path to where I am today, and so I was able to kind of escape it.
Are you
I mean, helped that I found the fact that I found the fursuits cringe and weird to begin with, right? But I didn't have any problems with the art or the porn really, and so, but I kind of didn't take. It was only a brief period of my life in the grand scheme of things, only for like 2 or 3 years before I started like drifting away from it. The same thing happened with gays, right? Like I used to like really like shipping, two men together. I'm not gonna say if it was Joshi because that gives it more the anime aspect of things, but I guess I was a Joshi as well, roughly during the time period, because we're talking about this 2 to 3 year time period where I was very left leaning, very much on Tumblr during this period when I was very young, because I got into this around 11, 12 years old, and I started growing out of it around 14, 15. And because of the, I guess, my life experiences that I had, I started, once again drifting away from it. And now I don't support or stand for this kind of stuff, either as much or even at all, depending on what the situation is. But if I actually stayed within those bubbles, I didn't have a great dad and a shit mom. If I didn't find Sargon, all that fun stuff kind of compiling together, I probably would have gone further down this path. Or, like, hell, even if my mom got custody of me, for example, I can almost guarantee I would have been far worse off than if my dad got custody. Which, if anything, by the way, chat, the fact that my dad got custody of me, it
Oh,
already
God.
shows the fact how bad she was, right? So that's where I feel like the big line is for me personally compared to this guy. But like, I'm not gonna pretend that I wasn't, teetering close to the edge of the cliff, because I was very close to the edge of that cliff right there. Also, fuck you. I'm assuming Boog for making this.
God damn it. Ugh.
Confessions of Amal.
But yeah,
and an
so
amalgamation.
uh, yeah. Well, that's actually why I'm part wolf as my VTuber. Is because it represents the different stages of my drawing life. I went from drawing dragons to drawing wolves and then drawing humans. Because I've always kind of liked them before. Uh, and that's what it's supposed to represent there.
I guess it kind of makes sense in a way. But
Yeah.
we're still gonna make fun of you.
Yeah, and honestly, like if when I have kids, I'm not going to give them like a phone, right? I'll give them maybe like a little bit of internet access that is going to be supervised, right? And I'm sure they'll probably find some ways to kind of get around it because kids will be kids. But like, I'm not going to stop them from playing like video games or anything like that. But I'll be very careful with how much internet access they actually do get. Because I have, between my own story and then the millions of other stories that I've heard online, of kids just being completely one-shotted by and groomed, the egg cracking, the whole shebang. It's like it's too dangerous. Like when they're 16, then they can maybe get their phone, because I think 16 is the age that you can actually start really introducing adult responsibilities to a child. Um, More so until they become 18, then they're a full-fledged adult. But even then, you still need to be kind of careful, because you take them from too sheltered to the whole Wild West. That's going to have its own effect. So it will be a balancing act, and also the kid's personality will kind of vary and change things too, because each kid will handle discipline differently. But that's kind of my idea for how to like raise a kid, my kids, because of, well, too many stories, too many horror stories of being groomed online.
Hmm.
16 is too late, has to be gradual. Well, yeah, it will be gradual overall, but 16 will be the real age where like it hits them a little bit more, right? Because 16 is the age where you learn to drive, and you start getting a lot more freedom. So it'll be a gradual process, but when they're 16, that's when like it kind of picks up a little bit more.
Service guaranteed
Well.
citizenship.
Alternatively, fortunately, since computers are getting more and more expensive, and China's going to own the entire video game and game market, computer market in a few years, and we'll have to ban all the exports and imports, we'll just be able to not have computers. Like the lower class just won't have computers at all. It'll be beautiful. The children will glow up happy. They'll grow up running through the woods, never knowing what a pixel is. It'll be great.
Well, that's kind of the idea for my kids, even if it is too expensive. Like, I'm gonna be making them play outside every single day. I'm like for years now, one of my ideas was just giving them a walkie-talkie and then shoving them outside for like 3 hours a day. Go wander in the woods and have fun. If you need help, use the
God.
walkie-talkie. Obviously, that requires us living in the middle of nowhere, which is my dream. But that's easier said than done because it's a dream. Obviously, if I get stuck in the city for whatever reason, it's gonna be a little bit of a different story. But once again, a dream.
A dream.
Hmm.
And speaking of dreams, we have the perfect case to try to summon another dreamer today, an illegal who might become a nationalized US citizen, Lum Lum, of course, with
Huh?
this fantastic
Oh my god, why is this horrid?
little article.
Twitch
gotta be
infamous
inventive
rule
when you're running
breaker
yourself
gets
out.
banned for playing Dark Souls on her feet. Pardon? Huh?
Yes, yes. Since Chad has been missing Lum Lum, I decided to make this a topic as bait. And we'll see if it has any results, but I find this fascinating. Okay. So we are in a position right now where you've got one Twitch streamer being subpoenaed by the US government for, breaking embargoes and terrorism, etc. Still streaming on Twitch every day, of course, no effects had. Simultaneously, a chick who streamed playing Dark Souls on her feet was banned. And I was just kind of thinking, like, Twitch has lost the plot at this point. This is weird, and I can definitely see an argument for sexual content here, but how come the Twitch moderators are quicker on the draw with this than this?
I'm assuming one of the
almost
other
feel like-
Twitch thoughts has a spy on the inside and is trying to sabotage her, something along those lines.
I almost feel like this article came out right after the other one to just undermine Hassan one.
I don't even goddamn know.
Or to, like, try to lessen the blow from the Hassan one. I don't know. I heard someone mention that a lot of these thought stories comes out whenever some groundbreaking things start to rear its ugly head.
Well, that's mostly Bonnie Blue and the grooming gangs in Britain. That's where people have actually tracked whenever she gets viral. And funny enough, they were trying to push her with this whole Henry Nowak situation that's happening in Britain, just like on Q. But that's I guess a slightly different story there. With this, it's harder to tell because it's Hassan, and Hassan's always in drama and controversy. This is just a little bit more serious, and Twitch thoughts being Twitch thoughts and being Twitch thoughts. That's also another day that ends in Y as well. So it could just be a coincidence.
Yeah, so this chick has a history of this. She was the woman who streamed Fortnite on her ass.
She had the GIMP suit just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and she did also stream other games on her feet previously, so...
Oh my.
This has kind of become her calling card. This is how she gets viewers, by streaming video games on various body parts.
I mean, it's clever. When you're in a competition with other hoes, you have to be creative.
That's true. This is
And she's still
creative.
streaming games.
I
compared
still
to the
think
other
the
Twitch
weirdest thing I've
thoughts.
seen is still nothing's gonna beat the weirdest thing I've seen, which is apparently a VTuber long ago put a camera inside her vajayjay.
Oh yeah, the womb ASMR stuff.
Yes, I don't know if that was real or anything.
ASMR?
Yeah,
know
so
what I-
apparently there's womb ASMR. I found out with the whole drama there, and I don't know how
really want
exactly
to
it
put this
works.
into DuckDuckGo,
Yeah.
but here we go.
Yeah, I don't know how exactly it works. You're not actually supposed to put the microphone up your vagina. You're supposed to like put it on your stomach instead. I don't know how it's supposed to like replicate being pregnant if you're not actually pregnant, but I didn't look
fresh.
that deep into it. But apparently she didn't understand the instructions because she was brand new to it. She put it up her vagina and got stuck there.
What the fuck?
As happens, sure, yeah.
Yeah, you think your cucumber would be a better fit, but no, we'll just put the microphone, a tiny ass microphone there.
Could be worse.
It could be worse, could be better too, honestly. Like there's room for both directions on this one. But yeah,
So,
I just
she's done
find
this
this entire thing
before.
hilarious.
Like, if she did it before, I'm surprised that she got banned now. The only thing I can think of is that Twitch is trying to crack down because they're cracking down on like everything. It seems like, especially with the whole botting controversy, is the biggest thing. But it's like they're trying to like sort of fix their reputation to a certain degree. I mean, they unbanned Destiny, and then he got rebanned the same day. I'm assuming his son made a call. There. So like
I
they're
think
trying
they're
to like
reaching an
course
identity
correct.
crisis.
Maybe. I just think they probably see Kick as a genuine competition.
Oh, they should.
They
But Kick is
definitely
just
do.
Not bad yet.
Like,
Service
Kick is
guaranteed
definitely
citizen-
doing quite well, comparatively. Definitely. But it's just... It's such a weird thing to focus on. I mean... I don't even really see the... So the argument here is presumably sexualized content. I think they mentioned somewhere in this article that they too... Oh yeah, Twitch services and ban stream focus into intimate body parts, specifically in buttocks, groin, breasts, there's no mention of feet. So I'm assuming that is the reason why they did this. So they're like, this is sexualized content, and I mean, it
Service
is...
guaranteed citizenship.
The intent is for it to be.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's Dark Souls on her feet, and doesn't actually make her feet look that attractive. And yeah, her
No.
tits are kind of out, but like that's no different than you can find at Walmart. Like, unless they were able to get her for the 5 seconds that it took to lift her legs up and put her feet on the desk. That I could understand being a bit more sexual because of the posing, and if any like ass cheeks were actually shown with the lifting up thing. But the feet themselves, while the intention is supposed to be sexual, like it's... And I'm sure probably some guys are jerking off to it. I don't know. It's there's worse on Twitch if they want to go after sexual content there, by a long shot.
Oh, every day, I have no doubt. It's
So this
just
just seems a
strange
bit
thing.
strange.
It's a
Yeah.
weird thing to crack down upon. Again, considering.
Well, Hassan's best friends with Dan Clancy. Like, Dan Clancy actually threw a birthday party for him in his own house. They're not going to go after Hassan unless they legally have to. And technically, they don't legally have to. At the moment.
Well, listen. If I was friends with Hassan Piker, and I was like 82 years old, and he was the only person feeding me an endless stream of young, retarded liberal girls, I'd have to go to bat for him too. It's just how the rules work, okay? How the game is played.
Yes, actually.
I understand, but it's such a weird set of priorities. It's such a strange set of priorities.
Well, Twitch has been notorious for having double standards, so this kind of falls in line. And I mean, does it say how long her ban is? Is it a day?
week, I
7
think.
days? Yeah. So it's and she'll probably get that revoked before it's over. And even if she doesn't, it's only for 7 days. This is a little pet peeve of mine personally, but I dislike how we've changed suspensions to bans. Banning means permanent, hasta la vista, you're gone. Suspension means temporary, put on hold, and that's what it is if it's just a 7-day thing. But that's a little pet peeve. I know
You gotta
that
agree with that.
Guaranteed citizenship.
I know the terminology has been long gone at this point. That's what permaban exists for. Which actually, that reminds me, I'm gonna have my permaban celebration from Twitch here in a few weeks. But that's a different story.
I do also hate the whole like suspension thing. Like, part of me would love just for suspensions to be a thing, just in general. Like, okay, for YouTube in particular, because in YouTube it's just like 3 strikes and you're just Yito, Cheeto, Deletoed in total. And it would make it does honestly make a lot more sense to be like, okay, listen, you got a little bit too excited, or we're gonna just ban you for a few weeks. But on Twitch, it's the exact opposite problem, where seemingly, no matter what you do, no matter how crazy, no matter how heinous, you just get banned for 3 days and you're off the hook anyways. Well, so long as you've got the correct name, as that's kind of just what the whole suspension thing has become. For anyone else, this would have been your account is just closed now for all eternity. But for the people who are big enough or have enough connections, they're kind of just let off the hook about it.
Yep. I mean, I got permabanned from Twitch for saying the N-word on Twitter. So,
Jesus.
yeah.
As was deserved.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Mm.
I see people
Which-
countless times say the N-word on Twitch, like multiple times over and over. I think it's you have to say or do something, and then I feel like saying something on Twitch just or not Twitch, but I'm saying on X or Twitter, it's just a higher rate of getting banned if you have saying anything bad than actual the platform.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I got mass reported, which I'm not that surprised, right? Because I knew my time on Twitch was just a temporary, just a matter of time before I would have been permabanned. I just thought it was funny. Of all things to get me permabanned, it was for saying the N-word on Twitter, and it's not on Twitch itself. There. But I was like, okay, well, whatever. But then obviously the double standard with Hassan and the things that he said on Twitch multiple times. The fact that somebody can make a 20-minute video of all the times Hassan has called for violence, and very explicitly so, 20 minutes from all his different streams they made a compilation for. It's just like, okay. Now I know everybody brings up Hassan as the double standard, but you can't make it more clear than day that there's clearly favoritism happening there.
Yes, and at the end of the day, that's the reason why this is happening, because that's just Twitch, and that's also why it's dying, slowly but surely. Also, I really do like the whole, the new thing they added on Kick too, the hiding viewer count thingy, as they also added on Twitch, I think. I like the idea of that. I hope it actually works out well and begins narrowing out the market a little bit, maybe getting rid of view botting and stupid things like that. I like the idea of it. Speaking of chat, remember, if you're sick of being bombarded with ads, well, either get brave or just go watch on Kick. I prefer it if you watch on Kick because I get money from just you watching me. And Warthog, I sent 500 warp tokens, which is the superior currency. You can use that for funds and you get bonus money out of it because I am a generous god. As he says, the creativity of the Horror Wars is truly as impressive as it is pathetic. White Knuckles. Well, you know, when everybody's selling
survive off
themselves,
attention.
then some
I
people sell
believe I can
themselves more
outroar my Mal.
effectively.
You
I'm
probably
understanding.
can. I've heard your moans from your shot color. You most definitely probably can.
Shush.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Don't speak
exactly.
in a polite company.
Yeah. Meanwhile, when I was getting shot, mine were just like they were grunts.
Manly grunts of displeasure.
yeah.
That's the noise of pain.
Mm-hmm. Just try to like hold it back there.
And
I
the
feel like I was
problem
gonna
there
say
is,
something, but I
chat,
forget what.
it's because you used, of course, the wrong thing. A shock collar is not really going to bother Mal much, because that's just electricity. Now, if you manage to find something shaped like a werewolf paw or something that tightened around her thighs, you know, basically that, but color version, now you would have a more
God.
interesting effect.
I thought you were gonna say
be
something
fair-
else that's werewolf shaped, and I'm glad that I was wrong.
To be fair, Mal, I do use 2 shock colors on each leg.
True. See, I haven't used mine in ages now because my community didn't really like it beyond the initial joke, which is like a fair
Yeah,
enough.
because you don't make the funny noises. You just grunt.
Well, they
That's
make it
true.
sexual, which I mean I can definitely see, especially when you exist when you get shot.
What?
For me, it was just more like just haha, tease the streamer. I should maybe shouldn't say tease there, but basically punish the streamer. Oh, because it's not sexual to me. Because like I do the manly grunts. It's just painful. It's like okay, and I don't get off on pain.
That's the thing.
Not
You make an
yet.
issue because you have to put it up to multiple seconds. Otherwise, you're gonna get annoyed by it if it's very short.
Maybe it's not completely gone. It's going to be for like horror games to kind of add an effect, but yeah, I mean beyond that, it's basically retired.
Honestly, maybe we should have it for ArchCast. Whenever you say something dumb, ArchCast shock you to
How is
correct
it
you whenever
not
you need to.
sexual? I mean, for me, it's really not because, like I said, I don't get off on pain. It's just like there. It's just like a nuisance. It's just like I don't know, uh, being stung by a bee. Like it's that's like the equivalent there. But oh, I remember what I was gonna say about the kick hiding viewers. To actually bring it more on topic again. Um, is I get that they're trying to use this way to disincentivize people from using bots for their viewer count, but I don't think anybody's actually gonna use it because they're making it optional. If they would have to like basically enforce it upon it because nobody's actually gonna do it because the whole point of streaming is to get most attention as possible. And Peter's, the psychological trick is the fact that you want to appeal as many people as possible. And if multiple people like you, that means that you have some sort of quality that attracts people. And so somebody comes upon your stream and sees 50 people watching you, is like, oh, okay, this person must be at least somewhat entertaining for 50 people to watch them. I'll go check them out. Versus if they're like a two view, then that means they don't, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't actually have anything appealing about them, but psychologically there's not that interest check there. And so they're going to move on to somebody else with a higher view count because of it. That's actually the main appeal of bots, to make yourself look more popular anyways. And so if they make this optional to turn off, nobody's going to, because they want people to see that, they are somewhat popular to a certain degree, that they have people watching them.
Yes, as a viewer, you want to have a different. You want to like see the other replies you get from the other people watching, because you don't want to be the only one like watching a music thing, because otherwise you feel ostracized to a different degree.
Yeah, like actually, this actually happened to me literally yesterday. Funnily enough, I almost never check other people's streams, but it was on my For You page on YouTube. Was this one male VTuber who was streaming, and I liked his model, and the game looked interesting, so I checked it out. And I was his only viewer there, but I was too scared to chat because I didn't really want to stand out there. But
Yeah,
I've also been
that's what
mostly a
I get.
lurker. Yeah, I've
The
always been like
sort
a
of a look
lurker by
upon
default.
you alone, and also all your question. I'm like, I don't care, dude. Just focus on your thing.
Yeah, like, and there's also the fact, like, okay, I checked his socials to see if his politics were, if he was openly political.
Oh my
There
god,
wasn't
okay, I'm all
anything.
going full stalker mode.
Well, yes, because I know how controversial I am, right? And the last thing I want is to, like, get into a spat with somebody online. And there wasn't any pronouns or anything like that, but there was a couple interests that were a little bit more left leaning. So it's like, okay, well, maybe we'll just sit here and I'll look for a little bit. He had a nice voice, a nice model. The game was kind of interesting, and it just kind of was there. And then I moved on. Hmm. But but I didn't say anything because I didn't want to stick out like a sore thumb, being literally the only one in chat. If there was other people chatting, I probably would have been like, "Hello, you're cool. Support small streamers." Until I was too scared.
I don't believe you. See, I'm going to turn it on because I want to be special and unique.
But what does it do entirely, though?
I don't know.
Or what's the negatives of having it, or positives of having it? Because if it doesn't come with any positives, then
I don't know. Nobody knows. It's a mystery.
Because I feel like I don't know. I feel like it probably should be forced upon everybody in that case.
It should be
So
forced
people
upon
can't
everybody.
just.
We should force it upon everybody. We should force all things upon as many people as possible. I have decided that
Wait a minute.
liberty is bad. Freedom is bad. We should enforce equality. Absolute equality upon everybody. Only that way can we reach equity, which must be our end goal. Equity, chat. Equity.
Communist art. Wait, where's that dev sound alert there?
I am lost.
I'm lost. Oh shit. Yeah, but like then we need one for Arch here with the communist flag in the background.
Archer's lost chat. He's gone full equity.
Mm-hmm.
It is the future, and we will have it. Oh, look at that. Well, see. Kick chat is nowhere near as active because there's only like 100 people over there. And the censorship is way too heavy on Kick too. But that's fine. Also,
Wait.
I see I see Draken. One or two emotes is fine, and I warn people usually. Don't worry, on Kick they can spam all the fuck they want. Not like they're gonna drown anything out there. Enjoy yourselves, little weirdos.
There we
It's
go.
terrible.
I got
Where
them
was
be
that
active
about?
over on Kick.
Yeah, because you need to be someone to be an icebreaker, because everyone's a bit awkward.
Awkward. You're on the internet chat. There's no real people here. Where
No,
was
but
I was gonna.
We're all Indian men.
Oh, there we go.
my God.
12 Dirge. Don't play Mechanicus 2. It's really bad. Playing it is pain. Good. Good. I hope their video game fails. I hope their business goes bankrupt. They're thrown out on the streets. Their dog starves to death. And then their children has to eat the dog right in front of their parents who loved the dog more than they loved the children. But they are forced to allow the dog to starve to death to feed the children so as to not be judged by society. That is the end I hope
Arch
for the
really going
developers.
hard on my Book of Grudges.
And maybe their penises could also be crushed by a passing hobo. That'd be nice too. But I'm not going to ask for too much. Rainalva, Neothians, Neoth, GWs cannot claim for God Emperor of Mankind. So that is what I will call the corpse worshippers. And Rainalva, Woke isn't dead. Stop Nick Shirley Act was passed. I don't know what that is. It's probably one of the many American efforts to censor the internet. Napoleon,
yeah,
will
so
Lumi
Nick
ever return? Yes, when she eventually is fired from her job.
I don't want her to get fired from her job. Damn. But the
Oh,
Stop
dear.
Nick Shirley Act is so you know who Nick Shirley is, right, Arch?
Not a fucking clue.
Okay, so he's a guy who's been going around with investigative journalism, actually recording different places. He's the one who brought to light
The
the Minnesota
Learning
scam.
Center?
Yes, the Learning Center. That was
He's
him.
the Leering
Uh,
Center. I know who he is now.
Yes,
He's the Leering
yes,
Center.
and he's been going around different states doing the same thing, and he's actually doing it in California. And so California made the Stop Nick Shirley Act to stop people from recording places, without getting like explicit permission from these groups and various things.
I like that. I love the idea that the government is like, listen, we know we're engaged in a lot of fraud, so you can't film it. I like that. I enjoy that tremendously because it basically just means that, okay, listen, society has already hit the end point. There really is no salvaging this now. We've reached the point where we've created so many laws that nothing is truly legal anymore. We have arrived at the point where the only option is reset. And you know what? I'm kind of fine with that. We're just going to have to accept it.
But no one
Arch,
wanna
are you an
get down to
accelerationist?
it.
Have been for a while now.
The issue is, as soon as you start doing it again, people are gonna be like, "But we want that law back again and again," and then people have forgotten why it was removed to begin with. And some a lot of laws will be ignored until they become an issue again.
Oh, of course. Because I'm sure this law basically existed in like the fucking 1600s, where it's basically like, listen, you can't do that because it'll embarrass the government. And then somebody destroyed the government, and now 400 years later, we're back to, listen, you can't do that. It'll embarrass the government.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
It's just how it is. C'est la vie. Sometimes you have to commit mass arson against the government, specifically.
I
It
thought
is
we probably should
unfortunate.
have an AI running the government.
Problem is, the AI will start hallucinating all kinds of funny things, and it'll come up with laws like this without even the reason for the law being there. It'll just do it one day and be like, this seems like a good idea.
Loitering on a Tuesday, so it's not okay, except it's 3 a.m. on a Wednesday.
And the problem is, laws like that exist too. That's why you can find like the ridiculously specific American laws where it's like, you are not allowed to bring a chicken to church on Tuesdays.
It's it's also funny, you know, in Denmark, I heard there's still a law that's still. It's like it's a law that's never really been removed. And it's apparently if a Swede crosses the channel to Copenhagen in Denmark from Sweden, any Dane is legally required and was justified to bring up a rotten fish and smack a Swede with it.
I think it's also like if Swedes cross the ice during winter, you're allowed to shoot them because invasion.
And then Sweden has another law which is you cannot. It's illegal to throw away a Swedish flag. You have to burn it, cremate it, and then just bury it in the dirt.
Oh, that's actually pretty similar here in America. We have a very very specific way to handle
But
the
it's-
flag.
But it's one of the laws that no one really takes seriously. Like but it's still
yes. Technically, yes, but at least with the flag, it makes a bit more sense because flags used to actually stand for the national pride. People were way more
Yeah.
patriotic, actually nationalistic. It would be the proper word here. That actually
yeah, it's
represented
showing respect
the
to it.
spirit.
You can't just cast it away and let it rot away. You have to take care of it and just make it one with the country.
Right. So, but the fact that people don't do that anymore, they don't actually care about those laws, kind of shows the degradation of society. If anything, is more sad. Versus the weird dead
Perish
fish
is the
slapping thing.
question.
That's definitely a
Fire is
bit
the
more.
answer.
I
Okay,
don't know
someone
why-
got a bit too drunk, and so therefore we had to kind of regulate this a bit more.
But yeah, I believe the one with if you're able to cross, because that's something that Sweden tried to do back in the day. They invaded Denmark by crossing the icy channel during winter.
As one does.
Yes.
Well, it's good to see that the Californian government has admitted quite publicly that they also engage in tremendous quantities of fraud, and they're worried about being exposed. We shall simply add
yeah.
this to the pile of evidence.
The best part is too, when this whole thing was going down for before it was getting passed, Nick Shirley went to California to actually interview
Service
the people who were
guarantees
promoting it,
citizenship.
and they acted like he didn't exist. Like they didn't know who he was, they didn't recognize him, and they didn't know that they didn't actually vote for this to be passed at all. And it's literally called a Stop Nick Shirley Act. How do you not know about this? And they would just walk past him. Or the few people that wouldn't get, actually it was great. The demographics of it too. Oh my god. So the only people that would engage with him were the two white men. Actually, they weren't really white; they were tiny hats. But they're the only ones that actually engaged with him, minus the gay dude. God, I always forget his name, but the one that passed the giving AIDS to be a misdemeanor. That dude, also basically ignored him. But the women and non-white women would just ignore him and pretend like they didn't know anything and feign ignorance there, except for one actually did. He interviewed like 10 of them. Most of them were unfortunately brown women. But yeah, it was crazy actually noticing the differences there with how they acted with him. And even the ones that did actually engage with him were using corporal politician speak to kind of like weasel their way out of it too. So, very disingenuous people. But what did you expect from politicians?
Well, this too is actually entirely normal. There was a thing a few years ago where a bunch of EU politicians were basically caught admitting that they didn't read any of the bills they were asked to vote on. They didn't put themselves into it. They had secretaries and stuff like read through it and then tell them what they should vote. Like these
Politicians have the
elected
skill of blabbering, I think, a lot of times.
Yes, like elected representatives half of the time don't read the legislation they're expected to vote upon. They have it summarized to them, and then they're informed what they're expected to vote by the party at large. And to be fair, this is also a problem with legislation too. Like, legally speaking, there really should be a law simply stating that if you can't get through the legislation, if you can't prove that you've read the legislation, well, guess what? You don't get to vote on it. And the counter argument, oh, but then we'll get nothing done. Good. You know what?
Yeah.
No. I'm full of that because that means
Yep.
laws need to be watered down instead of just having these long essays, because now they are just so long that people can't read them to the full extent. We noticed this with some other laws that have been passed
And we're
before.
overregulated as it is. We don't need more
Yes.
laws being passed every
I'm for
single
this.
day.
Like,
No,
I've fully
I don't-
arrived at the position that if the politicians can't do their job, that's a blessing.
so
Now, I do want to point out in this picture, there's that lady with the bright red dyed hair that looks like she comes from like
It's
X-Men.
the
except
fucking
she's
EU.
cool.
What do you expect?
I just like literally even like the beyond the hair too, like the outfit that she's wearing, like she literally looks like she's trying to be somebody from some sort of superhero movie, and it's just not it. Everybody else is like old white men in suits, a little bit respectable, and then there's just her. Women shouldn't be in politics.
Yeah, no, like there should absolutely be legal requirements, there should be fucking tests you have to pass, and if you cannot prove that you have read and understood the contents of the legislation you are voting on, you are not allowed to vote. And unless like 80% of the chamber passes that test, the entire legislation is just thrown out. Like, it needs to be difficult to legislate, and of course, like in times of dire need, when something dangerous is happening, floods, natural disasters, catastrophes, right, war, you need speedy government. Sure, but we're not in that era right now. The only catastrophes we have now are things like immigration or the collapse of the pension system. And guess what? They're not doing anything about that either, so fuck it. Who cares?
They're
So,
facilitating
they're
it and
pushing it
making it
forward.
worse.
they just push they're just waving it to the wayside and just nodding along.
Yes.
Ah.
So who gives a shit? Well, there's
If
one
anything-
thing they're really good at, though, and that's trying to ban their opposition parties. They're quite good at that.
Yeah, they're quite used to it as well.
How old is this article? Are they trying it again?
Oh, no, this is from like 2 days ago.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god! Like they keep on trying. They keep on being shot down because even the German courts are like, okay, that's a bit too far. Like we can't do
I'm like,
that.
How often can you run with this tactic though? Because clearly they can run with it for quite a long time. I thought it was run out of style, or like they would just like at some point you feel like the momentum of this type of thing, people would wake up to it and say like. But I think people are just not interested in politics to even pick this kind of stuff up. They just
Well-
nod along and just continue with their days.
There's a different thing here, because what you're probably talking about is there was an attempt last year and the year before that to ban Alternative for Deutschland, the AfD party, just ban it. This is an attempt by the EU to ban ESN, which is the European Union political party, which includes the AfD.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Because the
I know
problem
they've been trying
is...
to do this for the Sweden Democrats for like the past 10 years now. Or like 15 years.
There's an interesting thing that's happening right now. And that is that the European Union is actually starting to become a right-wing grouping. This has been mounting for a few years now, where more and more nationalist parties are getting into the EU. And they've recently had their first big victory, where they legalized re-immigration, because that had previously been banned. You couldn't raise the issue of re-immigration. It is now legal for nations to consider forcibly re-immigrating their immigrant populations. This was a massive win for the right wing in Europe. And so the European Union is currently trying to find some way to ban the right wing parties before they take over the UN.
What's the big push to actually fight against it, though? That's something I never really understood with politicians who has all the... Who's pushing for, like, immigration. What kind of gains are they actually trying to get? Because a lot of times you just look at all the gains and negatives for it, and it just runs out like it always comes down to in the long run, it's going to lessen the population living standards, it's going to lessen the infrastructure, it's going to put everything on, like, it's going to overload the systems that any country has, essentially.
Well, that's actually kind of the point. they don't care about the actual people. They only care about the short term in their own pockets. They're being paid by a bunch of NGOs, which are being
Yeah,
paid.
but all the times I've seen it, it's like it doesn't for any logical person, it doesn't seem worth it. So I wonder what other thing do they have besides the only because I myself can't believe that ideology is big enough that would push people to like run so headlong toward this thing and just put the fingers in the ears, just go la la la.
Well, yeah, 'cause they only care about themselves. Like, they can actually increase taxes by importing more people in, because they're like, oh, the welfare state, like the holy NHS, for example. It's so overburdened. We need to raise taxes so we can actually pay workers and hire more workers here. Well, why is NHS being so burdened? Well, it's because you keep importing everyone and their mother from the third world, that is using it for like a runny nose. That's why. And so they can raise taxes more and more and more. And it paddens their own pockets more as well. They don't really care that they're ruining society. They only care about it and making their life better, and they can use that money to flee and go to the countryside or a different country. Like Peter Thiel, for example, he just fled to Argentina with his family. So
God.
yeah, like because they can push for and advocate for these policies. They can make bank, and then they can flee and go someplace else and live the high life. Like
Yeah, you
especially
can go
if
to a
they're
country like Argentina and be like a slave colony instead. I just
yeah, like Andrew Tate when he moved to Romania. Like it's a very poor country because he had made so much money from the UK and also just being online in general, that he was able to live the high life there until he got in trouble with the law. Like they can just do this thing. They simply do not care about the long term, about the future. They only care about their own personal short term gains. And whatever happens happens. They're going to be dead anyways. They don't even care about their own children in a lot of cases too.
So
What do you think of
there's
this, Arch?
there's basically three types of politicians out there. That wildly explains what's going on here. First, you have the self-interested politician, which is the one Mal is explaining now, primarily. The politician that simply wants his own benefits for his own group of people, usually a fairly small elite of the people. Everybody's got these in spades. The ones that have millions in the bank and still wants more and wants taxes for everybody else. The self-interested politician. They want short-term solutions because it benefits them. They're not going to be here to oversee the collapse, so who the fuck cares? Then you have the liberal politician, and this is the ones that are most easily taken advantage of by the rest. To them, liberalism is God. Liberalism is not just a religion or an ideology, it's the fundament of their worldview, and it says all people are equal, all people are the same, there are no differences, and to suggest otherwise is evil and bigoted. And thus, there's no reason why we shouldn't accept infinite immigrants, because our system won't collapse. There will just be more Germans. They will forever refuse to accept the idea that the system will collapse, no matter how much proof you give them, because to do that, they would have to fundamentally reject the basis of their ideology, that all people are created and are equal. And finally, you just have the evil politicians, the people who actually just want to destroy the world, who wish to reduce your livelihood, your ability to exist on this good green earth, who bathes in blood and eats children. And that's Angela Merkel.
I could make the argument they're basically all the same as the original self-interested one. Like the evil one is self-interested because they get pleasure out of it and they don't care. They want to see the world burn and just live their life.
Mal, hold on a second there. Gets pleasure from it. I want you to take a look at this face. Does this look like a face that has ever experienced pleasure?
Okay, Misery loves company.
Oh,
Clearly,
God.
she's upset with her life, and she probably has kids, but she's not actually enjoying her life there.
She has
But
the
she
same
wants
look
to
as
see the
Scooter
world
Primo.
burn for Misery's company purposes once again. Like she just, yeah. There's that, but it's still self-interest there. that's happening. And then the liberal one is still self-interest because it's either they're using that rhetoric to make them sleep better at night, because they're genuine believers, or they're just using it to make themselves look better to the public eye while they enrich their pockets. And because it's just one more step to communism. They once again they don't really care about the immigrants coming in and ruining people's lives, because if they did, they wouldn't actually support the immigration. There. So, because the statistics are very, very clear that the immigration makes things worse, that they're not all the same. And so it's still just another padding for self-interest. It's just how they go about it is different. It's still the same origin source.
Hmm.
She does not actually have kids. Oh, that's actually kind of surprising, because most of these like horrible evil hags you do have kids. They're just horrible mothers and horrible wives. They just have kids because when they're that old, but actual no kids, oh, that makes it a million times worse. Like she
Yeah,
literally
like
is the witch in the forest.
a lot of these like crazy politicians, at least in Sweden as well, you can kind of notice that a lot of them they kind of like they don't have any kids to like pass stuff down to, so they don't feel like they don't have the same incentive to like. It's kind of what Arch said. They don't have the incentive to like leave something bad functional behind after themselves, so they kind of just take for what it's worth right now while they still have the power to do so.
Well,
Or
this is
they
where
Well,
you
might-
see
even
the
when they do have
difference.
kids.
The
No, even when they do have
liberal,
kids, though, they act like that.
the liberal has kids because they don't actually think they're doing anything wrong. The liberal politicians believes that they're making the world better. Their ideology
idiots.
describes a good world. It describes a correct world. Anything that goes against it is the wrong world. And so they have no problems with getting kids because they genuinely do believe that even if all signs are pointing to the opposite, that it'll just all work itself out. All of the new Germans will suddenly start working, will suddenly integrate, and the entire pension system will just not collapse somehow. The difference
I don't
is
believe.
Angela Merkel is actually just evil. If she had children, she would eat them. She doesn't believe in the liberal system. She's not motivated by a better world. She's motivated by the tears of the young children she has imprisoned in her basement, whom she beats with a stick every morning to wake herself up.
Yeah, some of them seems to be very perverse when it comes to these kind of rulings. Sometimes I feel like.
Well, I mean, I agree that the results are different here, liberal versus pure evil, but I like the disagreement is the origin point is still self-interest. It's just for different purposes.
I
What they're doing it for.
because even if they have
Also,
self-interest, I don't know. I feel like there's something else that drives them sometimes.
Oh yeah, like
yeah, it could be
again,
multiple different factors, but
the liberal
most pure
politician
politicians go
isn't
in.
doing this for self-interest because they actually do believe that this is the correct moral thing to do. They believe it is right. And the only self-interest that drives Angela Merkel, if anything, is just to continuously provide her with young children to abuse violently. But
That's a fan theory.
But even when they have kids, they still disregard their kids a lot of the times. There's that, I mean, the whole trope about the boomers, for example, selling all their property and all their assets and going on cruises for the rest of their life and not actually giving anything to their children. Like, they still screw over their kids, even when they are liberal. They're just a little bit more normal by having kids in the first place. Like, it's still very self-centered.
Well, having
some of
kids
them
is
do
is
actually
an
protect their
automatic
kids.
mental fix.
Normally, yes, and especially when it comes to women, it does make them a lot more conservative. And for most normal people, but we're talking about politicians here. Politicians by default aren't normal. You have to have some sort of sociopathy to be able to get into become a politician. There's always going to be a few people who are genuine believers that get into politics because they actually do want to change. But those people either fall into the system and because they realize they can't change anything, so they might as well get the bag and leave. They leave because they demoralize and give up, like that Dan Bonvino. Wait, not Dan Bonvino. Maybe it was that one guy who joined the administration who was a podcaster then left recently. And then um, or they actually, that's basically it. They either fall into the system or they give up and leave the system. Like, because they can't actually make any real change because they're so far and few between. The rest of
But
them, they get into it just for power and money.
like, here's the thing. You well know the story of Greta Thunberg, right? Because she started off as because her parents were kind of like very deep indoctrinated to the Green Party or like the Climate Party in Sweden, and her parents were already kind of famous, like half celebrities in Sweden. So what they kind of used is the daughter Greta Thunberg as just like a someone for a stunt essentially, but also someone to pass on their ideals to, but also to kind of be, how should I say it? Kind of like to justify their own kind of idea, or someone to, because a lot of people who get paired like kids, or like people, for instance, if a mom splits with the dad, for instance, she usually uses a kid as someone to talk to justify their own actions, should we say. They can then later on nod and agree to. I don't know, I forgot the English word for it. Basically, you're looking for someone to just agree with all these stances, almost in a sense. And I feel like a lot of people kind of use this. If the politicians have kids, they kind of use it as use them for agreeing with their own ideas. I'm sorry, I forgot the English word for it.
I mean, I get what you mean. Some chat are saying like proxy or prop, though I don't think it actually fully works in the context that you're using, but it still applies. Like even conservatives in the United States do it. Like, oh my God, those women girl bosses that are so-called conservatives post pictures of them and working in the office with their baby next to them. I hate that so much. Like you're trying to preach traditional values and familyhood, but you're not actually at home taking care of your kid like you should, and you're using your kid as a prop. For this photo op opportunity, please get out. Go back to the kitchen where you fucking belong. Holy shit. But for Greta in particular, I mean, because the thing is, like, all parents do eventually, like, do try to raise their kid how they believe is correct, right? They do try to impose their values and beliefs onto them because that's what they believe is the correct way to do it. And in Greta's case, it really seems like her parents did the exact same thing with her, except for the fact that it was leftist ideology, environmentalism, and they groomed her to be that way, and also then they used her to push the narrative further. So she really actually was a prop in herself too. So it actually makes it worse in that case because you're putting her in the public face and actually, well, turning her into this monstrosity that she's become versus just trying to just the regular trying to raise your kids in the belief system that you think is correct.
More importantly, here are some pictures of Merkel being disgusted by children.
Oh my God. That woman she never looks happy. Like, she's always dead in the eyes.
Actually, there's one moment in which I found that she looked happy. And that was when she was stealing this young child's juice. Oh, was that yours? Was that yours, was it, child? Well, too fucking bad. Slurp, slurp, slurp. The point is, politicians are either liberal, which means they're retarded, they're self-serving, or they're evil. And that fulfills all of them. Which is why they're really worried now that the right-wing politicians are coming in. Because don't get me wrong, the right-wing politicians are self-serving too. Absolutely. It's just that they are looking at the world and going, I don't want to live in the burned out ruins of my civilization. I don't want to look up at the ruins and think like, wow, our ancestors built that.
It's kind of like they can sell the people the solution. So they can easily, like, that's the kind of thing. So people just pick them instead. Because once you're in the because politician, it's a job at the end of the day. And it's a voted on job by the majority. For the most part. So if someone comes in and has essentially a solution to to a lot of issues that have been coming forward, now that's dangerous to your position. You cozy little position you're holding.
Philip Finef sent 1,000 kicks that says, get your kicks here. That is true, Philip. Thank you very much, sir. And I'm trying to read you more, Kick. I try. But then Mal started talking about her furriness. And it makes it very difficult. Very, very difficult. Trying, even. Out. Stop that. Stop that, YouTube. Don't do the thing that you do. I hate it when you do that thing. Furikasan, there's genuine ideologies. The other day, one of our men said we need immigrants because otherwise Germany would just be the descendants of Nazis. And there's the ideology of liberalism, where it's like, okay, well, we have to do this because it's a counterweight to the bad things we did.
Oh my god. Our country has someone related to Nazis. We need to purge ourselves and leave our room for the new German uprising Reich to take part. It's not part of the old World War II. God damn.
In the circle for another 1,000 idiots. Thank you very much, sir. If you don't believe in Christ, that is fair enough. But look at how demonic EU, Canada, Australia, immigration and economic policies are, and that should give you pause. I need not Jesus to explain to me why the politicians are evil. I just assume.
No politician in the EU gets very perverse.
Archer's abusive goth mommy. Streamlabs, as always. Why even bother making sex bots when we could clone sex boys like Atari? Well, it's technically more difficult to clone Atari than it is to make a robot version of him. Therefore,
is true, I guess.
Lumi's sweaty left shoe. Art, I noticed the Supergirl trailer that she wears safety shorts under her skirt. How do you and the panel feel about them? I feel safety shorts take away all the sex appeal of a skirt. I don't know if I want to look up under that girl's skirt. I don't... Like, what, Millie Alcock or something like that?
Huh?
Miley
I don't know
Alcock.
who it-
Yes, that is her name. Miley Alcock.
That's a beauty
Who?
privilege, and if you're beautiful enough, you're allowed to remove your what's it? The shorts so you can just wear undies under your skirt.
Well, I mean, I agree with the commenter that it does ruin the sexual appeal and beauty shots of panties. Like, safety shorts is just more sterilizing, safe, horny kind of BS that gets shoved down because, don't objectify women, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know who they're talking about. Who's the Millie person?
Miley Alcock.
Miley.
Here's the
Alcock.
thing. It's
Alcock.
option. If people want to have, if girls want to feel frisky, they can wear it if they want to have it. And people who don't want to show anything, they can put themselves away from that kind of feeling. Just put a skirt, like, what's it? They can put those tiny shorts on. As an option.
I mean,
Miley-
I guess, but I'd rather a woman just be attractive and not be that.
Alcock, which is a good name for a child, I agree, is only really attractive if you get her at the correct angle, and with the correct lighting, and with the good quantity of Photoshop, etc. You need a fair bit of preparations to make Miley Alcock particularly
She
hot.
looks like a duck. Like,
yeah,
okay,
that's an oof.
I gotta be honest, that she needs to add some more. Like, here's the thing, I'm just so locked to the big mouth. It's not even a big mouth, but the eyes are so tiny in that image. She needs, like, some eyeliner to make them stand out more.
Well, I think the problem is on the left, she looks like a 12-year-old girl, which I'm assuming she is because from the Game of Thrones perspective, okay, not a big deal. And then on the right, she turns into like a 35-year-old hag.
The
that's
girl
already
on the
dried up
right
and
is
used.
not Miley Alcock.
Oh, no? Okay. Okay, I thought they were like different. Okay. That makes a lot more sense because they look completely different. Like we completely skipped the early 20s when she's supposed to be hot.
Miley Alcock is aggressively mid, and there's nothing wrong with being aggressively mid, but you're supposed to play Supergirl. And again, when they presented her on screen for the first time and they got the lighting right, and she doesn't look terrible.
But anyone can look good in the right light, Arch.
I mean, she's the average, well, in this case, dyed blonde, blue-eyed
Painfully
white
average
girl.
slop.
But like,
What
Painfully
the
average.
frick?
did they Photoshop her jaw? Because it looks really weird.
It feels like they just carve out a chunk out of it.
Yeah. Oh, there. And the
Uh.
thing is, with her being average, it's actually not a bad thing because the fact that's the white average for women is actually pretty good. I mean, compared to what else is out there, and it's a nice it's a refresher compared to the first diversity and black woman's been shoved down our throats for the past 10 years. See, she doesn't even look that bad in that photo there. If that's still her, I'm assuming it's still her. Like that's actually she's decent, but yeah, that's our mid. That's our average for a white girl. Um in the West, obviously. So it's not that bad, but she's not obviously a 10 out of 10, looker either.
I swear, the common girl in Sweden that I live in my area looks 10 times better than this.
Well, that's also Swedish, so you get the origin point of the genes.
I see.
But the point is, I don't. They're clearly not trying to make her sexy, and so the safety shorts is just another point of her not being that. As I also believe that a bit of the origin story here is that Superman forced her to wear the costume, so she probably is going to have a whole thing where she's like, I don't want to wear that, rebelling against it.
no.
And that's why she's wearing the coat or whatever.
Oh, well, that
What the-
sucks.
Huh?
If they did, I'm looking at photos of her now, and some of them are definitely better than others, depending on how much makeup and the lighting and stuff like that. So she can actually be lifted up a couple points if they actually do try to make her look nice. But if they're not putting any effort in trying to make her look ugly, then obviously she's gonna look awful. Though I will agree with chat the fact that obviously actresses or actors in general are supposed to be extremely attractive. They're not supposed to be average, regardless. So like, there's obviously that argument there.
Yeah, you can find like a bunch of cosplayers who just outperform every actor, like entire Hollywood nowadays. It's not even funny. Even when it comes to the outfits, like the suits people or cosplay makers make, it's just beyond the Hollywood even, which makes it
Well,
more ridiculous.
It's not that surprising when they've been pushing ugly actresses for the past 10 to 15 years now. And when they actually do try to get the white girl, she is, in this case, mid here, because heaven forbid that, we objectify women because women are supposed to be attractive. Unless you're Asmongold and you're possibly gay.
Service guarantees
Where did that
citizenship.
come from?
Oh, okay. That's a joke, but there's been online discourse the past couple of days that men are the more attractive sex than women once you take off all the makeup, and Asmon agrees with that point. He thinks men are more attractive than women by default.
I see where he's coming from, because if we go like
Guarantees citizenship.
objective
because
beauty
women-
standard, then
I
yes,
think it's because
probably.
women use a lot of makeup and a lot of times, so it tires out the face and it dries it up very quickly. So once they're hit their 30s and between mixed with a guy who doesn't use all these kind of products, he doesn't have really like over tortured his face enough. So one of them will look a lot more younger and more appealing than the one who just over abused it with a bunch of makeup products.
Yes, and it's also just that the beauty standard for women is set at with makeup. The beauty standard for men isn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I
Plus-
took all my cosplay images without makeup, but once I put it on, oh my, that was bangable.
I mean, yeah, just with me, I look like a naked mole rat without mascara because I have blonde eyelashes. But as soon as I put the mascara on, I jumped like 2 points just from that little 30 seconds of effort alone with it. And then once I add the eyeshadow, that's like another point right there too, because just plain a mole is like a 4 at best.
Oh my god, 4. My god, Amal, you you gotta
There was,
consider yourself a bit higher than that.
There was a fascinating picture that I think went around exactly this controversy. What the fuck is the name of that chick? Okay, right. Yes, okay, so Brooke Monk is her name.
Oh God.
Yes, and she's quite famous because she does look very, very, very good.
Yeah, but she's also wearing about 20 pounds of makeup as well.
Yes,
Yeah, I
that
see
was the
eyes
point I was
are
moving towards.
extremely- Like I can't see
'Cause-
any proper skin at all on her.
The thing that kind of caused this was a shot that she had with her boyfriend, where both of them had like no makeup.
I can send you the
Um,
link real quick.
Yeah, do because I'm trying to
Like-
find the image right now.
A guy
Oh, yeah,
has very
'cause-
big lips.
Give me one sec. I gotta go to
I wonder
V's
if it
and
sucks.
ICMs because we talked about it. Well, we've talked about it briefly today. Mostly we'll focus more on Asmund than the tweet itself. So I'm gonna send you the Asmund thing, but it's a reply. So just scroll up.
Yeah. Once you find that, Tari, which one would
I
you
sent- I
rather
sent-
have?
I sent it in live links just now.
Like
The man or the
To
woman,
be fair,
Atari?
I'm
You
in-
must choose. You don't get
I'd
to think
ra-
about
like-
it. Choose instinctual.
I would say woman immediately because the guys
Damn it.
are feminine. Like I'm into femininity.
I don't know. I think you hesitated too long.
Yeah, I had to think about it because the guy, like, it doesn't have to be a
that's the one,
sexual
yeah.
relationship. Oh my god! But to be fair, they both look pretty like deer in headlights. But yeah, in
Well, the lighting's
in
not doing
Animal
me any
Kingdom,
favors.
but yeah, like his thing in Animal Kingdom, all the male birds look beautiful. It's like and can dance beautiful dances, do all the performing stuff. It's so like iridescent with how they look with colors and everything. And then you have the female bird who just has coochie.
And I
I
mean, because
think-
this is a big part of it, because the standard for women is with makeup, and the eyes are definitely like one of the biggest things. Because if you see a bit closer, the moment you put on
my
the
God.
eyeliner and the eyelashes, it changes
Yes.
her entire feel of her face.
Yeah, like
Guarantees
as
six
it's
to
like
get.
she definitely emphasized because the eyes feel so small when she like does her makeup, because that's what makeup does a lot. A lot of women I know put on makeup to emphasize the eyes a lot more because people find eyes very attractive when they are like look good, because that's the first thing guys look at. Guys look at like faces more the first thing they do, like out of all the face of a human. When they try to like counter attractiveness.
And I mean, I
And-
know I'm the woman here, so my opinion doesn't really matter as much. But like, I don't even think she looks bad on the left. Like, I think she looked better if she put her hair down. Because I know that's like, it's not makeup, it's still natural. I feel like she can kind of have a point if she put the hair down. Because most women look better with hair down and not up. But obviously she goes from like mid, probably like I would put her at like a 5 or a 6 there. Because she is still actually wearing a little
Honestly,
bit of makeup there. I can
As
see
the
the
guy
mascara.
who know what women looks like a lot of times, she's definitely a 7 out of 10. Like, because a lot of women are cheating, chat. A lot of times, remember this: 7 out of 10, and then she goes to a 9 out of 10, I guess.
Yeah, I would put
presumably.
her like a 9 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 with the makeup on. But like that's also once again 20 pounds of makeup. Without the makeup, she's like 6. Also, I saw somebody mention in chat, but that's correct. She's also using foundation to make her nose a little bit thinner too. So like
Yeah.
what she's wearing here is she's wearing foundation, she's wearing blush, she's wearing lipstick. I think she's also highlighting her nose a little bit too. And then
definitely.
obviously she's wearing mascara, she's wearing fake eyelashes, she's wearing eyeshadow, and eyeliner too. So and she's
Yeah.
also she's also fixed her eyebrows as well. So that's like what 10 things I listed off right there alone.
You can look at her, like the mole on the chin, for instance. You can see how covered it is on the one side to the other. It's a lot more blurry.
The point being, you could do a lot more with that's Mal furry suit rowing right there.
God damn it! God damn it!
I
You
like how
could do a
chat's
lot
going
more
back
with
and
Miley
forth.
Olcock.
But yeah, guys, this means you should learn how to use makeup. Outperform the women, so
No.
they feel bad, so they So
No,
they
no
have to try harder.
cavaliculars here. Okay, I like men that are natural. Okay, women wearing makeup is gay. The only time it's
Guys,
acceptable is in
remember,
movies,
you already
and
look
that's
beautiful as it is. Now, try to outperform the women in the looks so they can, so they just get back to looking
you're
good again.
seriously transgender if you do that. Okay,
Mal,
wait.
Atari has already offered to do the cosplay. So are you saying I have to reject his offer now? Because
Well, you're already gay, so does it matter?
how the standards turn.
Well, I've been calling you gay for like how long now? So
How the standards
Like-
turn, indeed.
To be
also,
fair,
I
need
like
to
how
wear-
chat goes back, like is arguing whether or not like some people are saying I was correct with calling her a 6 on the left, and some are saying that I'm jealous and I'm trying to put her down by not
Yeah,
giving her
that's
enough
what I
points.
felt a bit. Because here's
Yeah.
the thing: when you gotta compare to her, you gotta compare to with the same standard. Because we can't use, we have to like I have to compare still with every other woman, like with or without makeup, still.
Mm-hmm. Like
So
I'm
it's
not saying
still-
it's honestly being mid. Like this is something that I dislike with online discourse too. Is mid used as an insult? I know it's only used for women because women have too high standards for themselves. They need to be put down a peg.
Every woman is
but, like-
beautiful, a perfect 10 out of 10. You can't
Well,
say otherwise.
Well, no, it's the fact that like it's okay to be average. Literally, the vast majority of people are average. That's literally what average means. It's the normal standard that pretty much everybody fits. Obviously, some people are gonna be below average, hence why below is put before average as the adjective, and some are gonna be above once again. But like average is gonna be the like 80%
Oh my
of
God.
people.
Disgusting.
So being average is actually not a bad thing, and most people will
Here,
be
in this
looks
image,
and
Arch
acts
is
in the
showing.
end.
Average would be a compliment. It would be a egregious compliment.
Well, yes. Obviously,
Ugh.
Gorlock here is 1,
Disgusting.
tranny, 2, 300 pounds, and
Pardon?
4, just actually disgusting.
I can't tell if what origin point it has.
So that's like a negative
The
pin right there.
destroy-
Service
Go
guarantee.
I would just put a minus and let's call it a day. I just not think about the number.
And I don't even actually mind because, like you say, mid it's actually fine. Okay, for Supergirl, if you're aiming for this kind of Supergirl, which is the bratty independent Supergirl, what you want is more the DC animated universe version, where you're not actually necessarily aiming for heart. What you're aiming for is, well, confident bratty. That honestly is my favorite interpretation of Supergirl too, which is why I'm still kind of excited for the Supergirl movie. But the problem is Hollywood can't write bratty; they can write asshole, and that's probably what this one is going to be about.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be like Captain Marvel, where she steals the motorcycles and punches men, and more feminism stuff. Just 10 years later. So not great, not great. And I agree, Chet. She's gonna be a Supergirl. She should be attractive. But
again, like-
that's obviously not what Hollywood's doing.
So Supergirl in the show, obviously the DC animate the style is beautiful, but she's presented more as young and naive rather than hot in like the sexy style. So again, I wouldn't even mind her just being mid, so long as they manage to capture the persona. I think actually that would fit even better. But in this case, I don't think they've hit either one, really. Oh, I read the... Yeah, okay, so also, chat, by the way, if any of you have read the comic that this is based on, and it is based on the comic, although we don't know how much, Girl of Tomorrow, it is fucking awful. Was it Woman of Tomorrow? It's Woman of Tomorrow, isn't it? Because that's... Yeah, there you go, because that's less sexist. But yes, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is not a Supergirl comic at all. It's got basically nothing to do with Superman or Supergirl or the DC universe in fucking general, frankly. It's more like It's more like somebody read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and thought to themselves, I could do that, but nobody would ever read it if I just made that, because I'm a talentless hack. So I'm going to see if I can trick somebody into putting a famous character into it. And that's kind of what Woman of Tomorrow is. It's really bad. It's not good. Not good. Slight deviation aside. Where was I? I was trying to catch up with Superchat, and then I think Mal dragged me off point for something.
You're welcome.
Minus the red. Time to test Mal's German military history. Punishment. I like it. What's the difference between the Fallschirmjäger and the Gebirgsjäger?
I don't fucking know.
Mal.
I'm not gonna try.
Shame.
Learn helplessness.
One jumped out of an aircraft, the other climbed mountains. Vulture.
I didn't know
And?
this.
All super chats, remember, Doom 3, support Doom 3, and my god, that cat in the boat looks like me on a fishing trip. It is a pretty little cat in the boat. And just like Mal, it too was trying to row its way out of humiliation, but it couldn't do it.
Man,
It truly was a
Good thing I
tragedy.
like it.
I need to go down in weight. I'm like weighing 2 kilos more than I should.
You fucking blob. You disgust me.
I've seen your pictures. I'm not sure what the kilo to pound equivalent is, but I'm sure you're probably relatively fine.
Like 1 kilo is like
Oh,
2.35.
not even 5 pounds? You just need to lose 4.4 pounds? That's it?
Yeah, I need to
Jesus
hit my
Christ,
peak.
just eat less for a week.
But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, doesn't it work that way?
Eat less for 2 weeks and add a little, maybe add some extra step to your pep.
Need to work it off.
Mr. Rich Low Pitch, this is Michael Knowles' video, is the weirdest version of Little Red Riding Hood I've ever seen. It is, and you can be happy for it. Nicholas Cantor, stop lying, Mal. The video is clearly you in your own fursuit without your voice changer. Otto in his mankini for the calendar.
Ugh, why do you
Hi
want this?
guys, it's an amalgamite. Oh shit, I forgot to put my voice changer on. Hold on, wait a second. I gotta stop stream. I'm sorry.
Oh my word.
I don't think I can make my voice go any deeper than that.
Check out the Furry Crusades video Flashgates did. They actually got me into 40k. The Black Templar is my favorite chapter. I have seen it. Dryfee. Good God, Mal, don't do it. The corn furry art only leads you down the road to Chris Chan. I didn't know who that man was until I saw his arrest video. Are you trying to tell us you watched the art for the articles? Yeah, it's true. Don't go down the path of the Chris Chan battalion. That way lies only Dev.
I avoided it, thank you.
Yakata, all a 12-year-old needs is a good pair of sneakers and access to the outside. Garden hose for water. See, we need to give them only limited access to the internet, okay? You know, if they have to watch their porn through a 256 kilobyte connection and they can only copy it onto 3.5 megabytes floppy disks like I did, that will be a natural limiting barrier right there. Deadpool Kid.
How old were you when he did that?
Somewhere in time, Carl Jung missed the biggest opportunity to interview a furry and do ecstasy. It's a tragedy. Red Dot Zebra stopped them from playing Roblox, at least. And Queef. 3D. I don't... Wow, why? Dimple Kids, Dark Souls is now Dark Souls. Thank you. Actually, I know about a porn game called Souls of the Damned, so I've got you beat. I know worse things already. Chris Chan. Oh, there he is. Fun fact, there's a fossil evidence of Neanderthal and Dension hybrid. Also, what is your favorite dino? Other prehistoric animal, minus the mammoth. Megalodon. I like the megalodon because it's a large shark. Marinalva, all mine for Thief Trooper Waifu, and yet Texas town called Trinidad. Arrest with Facebook. The Inner Circle for another 1,000 eaters. Thank you. Somalians has an average IQ of 83, by the way. Does anyone believe they managed to pull off these potential $100 million, maybe even billions fraud by themselves? No. Well, this is the thing. The government will tell you how to defraud it if you ask it properly. It's kind of like tricking Grok into making pornography. You have to word yourself in a certain way, and it will tell you how to do it. There are, in fact, this was one of the things that the guy, whose name I've already forgotten now, revealed, was that there were social workers who would tell them specifically what kind of permits to apply for, getting access to the maximum amount of support and stuff like that. Because the government knows how to defraud the government. The government defrauds itself every single fucking day, aggressively and continuously. That's how they do their corruption. It's not like they, bundle up $500,000 in a box somewhere and hand it to a person like, aha, here's your bribe. No, they give him a position on a board on some company somewhere with a $500,000 salary. That's how they do it. They're cheap little bastards, I tell you. Speaking of, right, so chat. You know how DSP asks for more money because he needs to live? Well, I am going to ask you for more money too, because let's be honest here. If I'm ever going to play Star Citizen, I would like the $5,000 ship.
Oh my god, Arch, you plebeian. Stop it. No, stop it.
I think you tried to say plebeian, but then you Swedished.
You plebeian. Also, by the way, Arch, this ship is never gonna release. Like, here's the thing, I know people who play Star Citizen, they waited for a ship called Kraken. Still waiting for it to this day. It's been 10 years. Or probably 8, but anyway, the point still stands.
Well, that doesn't really necessarily matter, okay?
It's gotta be... The company's got to liquidate, and all your fund money and all the money you put in it, and all even... Because this thing, even if you put the money into it, Star Citizen just give you a loaner ship that you can play around with until it releases, which means they give you the second, probably the biggest thing they can give you that's equal in worth to it until it releases. So you will get a big ship. However, it's not worth it. For that amount of money, you can literally just buy a cardboard cutout of this same size of this thing in real life.
Yeah, but listen.
You can have fun.
Listen, if chat gives me $5,000, then I could go into Star Citizen and I could find somebody who didn't have chat give him $5,000, and I could bully that person with my bigger boat.
Here's the issue. Here's the thing. Okay, Star Citizen has done... Okay, I argue with Star Citizen players because they fight tooth and nail for their fucking opinions about this game. And apparently Star Citizen kind of fixed because that was how it used to be when a game, like in 2020. They used to be, because I played during that time, and I realized there were some ships you could just not brick. But unfortunately, they fixed it. So now, because the people complained, it was a pay to win, and they cracked on the rips. So now even a smaller ship can kind of break the bigger ones.
Well, that's cheating. Why would I want to play a game where I can't pay to win? That's fucking stupid.
So what happens is people can just board your ship and just kill you on the inside, and you wouldn't even know it. Or here's the other thing, Star Citizen. Game may just say, "Hey, we need to stop you the in-game cops will say you need to stop." But because you accidentally pressed the W once, and you didn't stop completely, so now you're gonna get a fine. And if you don't pay the fine, the cops are gonna kill you and shoot you, and then you get put in a prison. Now you have to be there and actively be online for a few hours until you get released.
I don't like this game. That sounds stupid.
No, me neither. And besides, you could just die and crash. Now you have to wait for the ship to respawn. And also, if you want to... It is a tedious game to get. It's fun when it works, but they're going so hard on the Sims part of it to the point they have just removed a lot of fun or easy accessible things, and the UI is horrendous. I don't know what they did, but doing a certain point in time, they just changed the UI, and there's got to be a new team who worked on it because the UI is just painful to work with.
But why would I spend 5,000 of chat's money if I can't pay to win to just bully some person in my stupid $5,000 ship? That makes no sense.
Well, it's the thing. It's this ship right here. You can probably be in the pilot seat of this ship. However, you can't use any guns because there's no guns linked to the pilots. So you have to need people who actually mans the guns or the turrets on this thing. And yeah, so you need other people to actually shoot the guns. So you will just be sitting there laughing in your cock. And I presume
chat gets to play on the guns I get.
Well, because the service cannot hold that many people, so you're probably gonna crash more so than not to get people around, and then you have to sit and wait until the time where you feel like, oh, I can't actually wait for you guys to play this anymore because it took 4 hours for people to assemble. Because when you start on a planet, you have to leave the planet to the upper places usually to actually use these things. I'm telling you, the game is tedious as all hell.
You can also just play X, okay? So
Yeah.
I recently got a key for the new X4 DLC, so I'm planning to finally try and play that game again, but I'm currently just sitting there not wanting to because of the amount of learning I'm probably gonna have to do to figure it fucking out. But I used to play a lot of X3 back in the day. Loved the shit out of X3. X4 has had a very rocky launch, but I hear it's gotten a lot better, so I want to try and get back into it. And it's basically Star Citizen, but Mountain Blade-esque, where you can have the big dumb ships, and you can have the big dumb battles.
This actually looks fun. They actually made a thing that people want. Because this thing, Star Citizen has fallen to the thing where they just want to be top tier, but for spaceships. Because the Star Citizen kind of went to the thing where they spend half the budget on just probably maintaining their, what do you call it? The place they work at, because they have modeled their entire workspace, and in a house and building they have rented to just be looking like a spaceship.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, well, they have been given it over $1 billion, Arch. Like they have enough to spend on it.
Chat, if you give me $1 billion, I'll live in a spaceship too.
It's not lying either.
Not one of the Blue Horizon ones though, because those blow up. But a regular spaceship, a normal one.
If Shav gave me $1 billion, I would just build a Drukhari Camera City. But without the screaming faces, because that's illegal.
Yes, says hello Arch, Furry, and V. Arch's choice. Thank you. A 93 campaign. Thoughts about the YouTuber Reckless Ben getting arrested for exposing a corrupt Mormon-owned used Lego shop that stole a 200,000 grand Lego collection. The Mormon did nothing wrong, because if you managed to steal $200,000 worth of Lego, then good job.
Oh yeah, I like before the ArchCast started, I was midway trying to watch the video of the guy who covered it, and I would tear my fucking ears off because the guy's breaking the law left, right, and center, just making it harder to actually prove this thing in court without getting fucked over. So it's almost to the point where I feel like, no, they deserve to lose it to the 200,000 Swedish crowns, or like what was it? Oh no, it was $200,000 it was. And at that point they kind of decided losing it after how much they kind of screw with the owners or like the people, because you could just take it to court and just have a lawyer look at it, and they could, because they had the contract about it, because they probably fucked up with the money to ask for legal counseling, or I don't know.
I know nothing about this case. I just know that I'm avoiding Lego like mad, because in Germany I passed a toy store and I started seeing all of the new cool Lego sets, and it took all of my concentration to just not buy Lego. If I start getting into Lego again, I'm gonna have an economic problem. So I'm just gonna not think about it.
Okay, Arch. What about this? Have a ship from Star Citizen, or have a Lego ship that you can build and have fun with chat. You can stream while building it for less than a tenth of that money.
There you go, chat. That's a
You
new
say that,
fund
but he just
idea
said
for you.
that, if he gets into Lego again, he's going to be a financial ruin. So it seems like regardless of the option, he's going to be a financial ruin. Though I'm curious, what Lego sets do you have currently?
Nothing. All of my toys were thrown out by my evil, abusive mother when I was a child.
Oh, okay.
How
How
all
dare
my
she?
Lego is still with my dad. Probably all screwed up in bunch of bins or like a bunch of boxes.
I had loads of cool toys, but they were all taken from me.
What kind of Lego did you have? It's also a way for me to gauge how old you are, like what age you actually are.
Don't say that, or else he's not going to say it.
No, that's fun.
That's the fun of it. I used to have an all like
Are you
Optimus
regular
Prime
lettuce? No,
toy,
merciful
and I
lettuce,
loved it, and it was
buttery
really, really cool. And my mother took it away from me and gave it to poor children starving in Africa. Never forgiven her for that. Never will.
Service guarantees.
I don't understand
citizenship.
parents that do that. Like, if your kid still plays with the toy, and it hasn't been
Oh.
years since they abandoned it, why did you get rid of it?
What was it? My sister and I had a massive Yu-Gi-Oh collection back in the day, and my mom bullied my sister like at one point, and so my sister felt so bad she threw both our collections away.
Jesus.
It is a tragedy.
Hey, what happens?
Then again, my mom more specifically was a hoarder, so it was more the opposite problem. We kept literally everything because you never know when you might need it.
Yeah,
Actually, create a
I
path
feel
within
like-
the household. It was so bad when she was alive.
Oh,
Literally had a
Jesus.
path to get to the living room and to the front door.
Oh God.
And there was a whole section in the basement that was just filled with just random shit. And when we used to host like Easter and other events, we would put sheets on the walls and from the ceilings to kind of be like a fake wall, so you didn't actually see the crap there.
Oh my word.
But yeah, the barn was a whole different story too. Oh, the house she died in, that was also a mess. Oh, literally had to get pathways to get everywhere. Literally anywhere. We just had to create a whole path to get through shit.
Jesus Christ.
Mhm.
And no,
Don't talk about how bad the kitchen was.
I don't want to know. God.
Chat, I need you to give me money so I can rebuy my old toys, and I'll do a Lego ASMR for you. You'll enjoy it. No, you won't.
Yes. But Lego is such pricey right now, and oh God. But however, we have a local Costco, and I don't know why buying Costco. It's an American store, but for some reason I never see Lego more cheaper than in that store.
Oh, also, to finish the topic we started a while ago, Supergirl is trending to do really, really, really poorly. And I'm looking forward to it doing very, very poorly.
But that's expected. I feel like the superhero fatigue has been for like 4 years now, and it is not lifted at all.
More than that, I feel like it ended
Oh,
with
yeah.
Endgame. Like Endgame was literally the end game. Like everybody stayed
Yeah.
until then, and then it just died
People-
off.
I feel like even to Infinity Wars, people knew, yes, the fatigue starts and it like already kind of began even before, like right there, because that's when it peaked, like during Infinity Wars.
But like people were already invested, so they didn't really care. But like once it was over, it was done.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that the woke shit was being added in already. We already talked about Captain Marvel, but there's also Black Panther. They pushed the Black Widow movie way too fucking late, in my opinion. Because I was always excited to see her movie when I was a kid, and then it just came way too late and all that fun stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy wasn't that bad the first movie, but you start to see a bit more in the second movie. Just the different things here and there that they kept on adding more and more in as it went on.
Jesus.
Superhero fatigue isn't real. Bad movie fatigue is real. That's how that is. That's all it is. That's all it is. But I now want to do another important topic before I get too tired to continue, which is this, which I think is very funny.
Now, what is this? Holy shit. And I can't remember.
Wait, what? They got rid of Disclosed TV? Really?
Yes. So, I'm not entirely sure if this is true because I haven't been able to find the original post because I think Disclosed TV deleted it. But this was going around a couple days ago where Nikita, one of the ex-people, apparently saw Disclosed TV upload a picture of the Blue Origins rocket going kablooey. They cropped the video to cut out the watermark of the man who filmed it, which was Adam Bernstein here. Then they also added their own watermark to it. And this had Nikita be responding, saying, "Great video, sorry this happened. Creator has been deactivated from monetization for cropping out attribution."
Damn. Okay. I was going to say, Disclosed TV is usually a pretty reliable source of information.
Well, it's a
Generally.
reliable source of other people's information.
Well, that's kind of how it works. So, like, they're getting to a more of a gray area once again, where get your news sources from different places because not everybody goes to the same spot. Then there's like a monopoly of who's disseminating the information. So there's multiple different news sources on Twitter. Disclosed TV. Then God, like real alerts. I think I'm trying to think of the different ones. Like you usually tell by their profile pic. So
Yeah, I can't help
I
you
know
guys
them.
out here. I'm horrible with news.
Oh, but there's a whole bunch of different ones that exist, and obviously stealing credit and shopping at the wrong market is shitty. So they definitely deserve some sort of punishment for that. But like losing monetization's a little bit much. I feel like I don't know. We're getting to this weird gray area where like okay, so us on stream we're reporting on other people's information too. We're using other people's videos. Like, is that technically like should we lose monetization for that?
Well, here's the thing, right? What we're doing right now, for example, is commentary. So we talk about things. This isn't talking about things. This is this thing happened, and that is the entirety of Disclosed TV. It's not commentary, it's this thing happened. And if that's all you're doing, and you then also take somebody else's thing, again, cut it out, add your own watermark to it, what is Disclosed TV adding to this conversation?
I mean, not much other than disseminating the information.
Yeah, so all they're doing is spreading it. But if they're spreading it without attributing it, they're not even really spreading it, they're just kind of stealing it.
Yeah, and I agree. Like they definitely should be like slapped a little bit because it is a dick move here. But I feel like this is like stealing me. Like okay, stealing memes is a different level here, but we're getting kind of close to the same situation. Where it's the internet, things get passed along. Obviously, the correct moral thing is to credit, but the internet's so vast that how are you going to be able to credit for every single thing that gets passed around? Like in this case, it definitely was more intentional by actually cropping it and adding their own logo. But once again, this is where I think it's the gray area here.
Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, because in this case, there's intent. There's very clear intent because they take the footage, crop it to get rid of the attribution, and then upload it. So this is malicious intent. So that makes everything a lot worse. But this does lead to an interesting debate then about where the line goes. Like, for example, I prepared a couple of these. So this is Mario Nuffle, who has a clip here, and he's got the Japanese soldier trained the second person ever to catch bullet casing out of the air, blah, blah, blah. And this is something that's been going around for months now. It's even got the attribution up there, not what you think, the people who originally made it. In fact, I think even there's like a little thing in the video. There you go, yeah, in the video about it.
Well, also there's a watermark in the top right corner too.
Yeah, was what I said. Like, there's multiple attributions here, but so this is attributing the video, and then there's the source, their YouTube channel, but this too is just stealing, isn't it? It's just stealing, but stating that you also have stolen. The delineating mark between these two is basically malice, but with links.
I'd say go as far as malice for the second one. It's just engagement farming, but it's not actively coming from a place of hate and trying to, fuck people over.
Yeah, it's less malice, more theft. Like, this is a man who steals your wallet and then kicks you in the shin whilst he's doing it. This man just steals your wallet.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, because I'm very, very pro this. I'm very pro this. Take their fucking monetization away. Maybe make it temporary. Like let's see if they learn their lesson, but absolutely slap them fast, slap them hard, make a fucking example out of them. Because I fucking hate the aggregate accounts anyways. I fucking despise them. But
I mean, yeah.
I'm not
against them being punished. I'm not against them being punished. I just think it's more of, I don't want to say slippery slope here, but I definitely leads to kind of that way. Because even your example with the Mario guy, I don't even think it's that bad because he's the multiple different references and then not what you think being labeled in the tweet, the in the video, the watermark. If anything, it's promoting them for what they do, so people are more interested in this information. They go check out the YouTube channel. It's like Clippers posting VTuber clips from their streams. And a lot of times they don't even mention who the VTuber is when they do that, but it's good exposure for the VTuber, for getting those clips out from these viral clip accounts. I think this is different than the disclosed situation, but it still can fall within the same group, because it is reposting other people's content. Disclosed is worse for being malicious there and cropping it out, but it's still reposting other people's content.
That is the charitable interpretation, definitely. Because at the end of the day, this evil, this smack repeatedly, this merely engagement farming, like bad taste, and I want to smack this too. The ideal system I would like to see is you do this, you get a strike, basically. Like, okay, maybe you did it by accident. Probably not. But, okay, get a warning. You do it 3 times, just take their monetization away for all eternity. Or just beat them off the internet for all I care. This, I want to just see posts like these not be monetized at all. Just don't monetize them. Because the only reason why he posted this is so he can farm engagement. And I don't like it.
Internet, then. Like whenever you tweet, you're getting farming engagement too. You're trying to get people to reply, get likes to boost it, especially since you also are being paid on Twitter since you're monetized. It's technically the rule of the internet, right? Very few people actually treat the internet like a blog. Most of them do tweet and hope that they do get something viral and get kicked off and, become famous to some sort of degree, or at least have a small community. Well, whatever the case is, if you're posting on the internet, you are looking for attention, and in a way you are engagement baiting. Some of them are more slimy and malicious, and only doing it for the fame and fortune. Others just like the attention in general. But regardless, if you're posting on the internet, you want engagement. That's literally the whole point of it to some sort of degree. Very few people once again just treat it as a blog or just a fun place just to kind of shitpost and do things. But even then, people can build big accounts from shitposting too. Like, you're just engaging with others no matter what. It's the internet.
Yeah, but this is like saying that voting is the equivalent to shooting the person you disagree with. It's a hilarious reductivist position. There's an ocean of difference of taking somebody else's stuff, copying it 1-to-1, description, text, and everything, and then going, oh, by the way, I didn't actually make this, but, it's mine now. Contra commentating on something. And the difference is primarily in what you add to the conversation. Here, nothing is being added. Absolutely nothing is being added. And the only charitable interpretation you could take away from it is that it's spreading awareness of the original clip, which I feel is a lot like the old adage of paying artists in exposure at that point.
I'm not going to disagree. There's different levels to it here, but we need to discuss the different contexts where they are different.
Yes, and okay, so because then you can also add in something like this. So here you've got a guy who's taken a pretty viral clip about the Canadians being Canadians. And the difference here is he takes the clip, everybody knows the clip, it's not his clip, obviously, and he adds commentary to it. This makes a whole world of difference in my opinion. Commentary, no commentary. Saying something, even if it is just like, oh, this is a thing, look at this clip, nothing. And you could even have like a middle ground too, where like this is probably like a closer middle ground where you've got a guy who just reposts a clip of a comedy skit. But then at least he adds like, oh, I found this funny. So you've got like multiple degrees of the engagement baiting here, to use the somewhat derogatory term of it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But how to handle it and how to regulate is going to be a different story because, well, I've seen too many years of YouTube and other platforms censoring and bringing people down. And so I'm very hesitant to start regulating on what can be monetized and what should be banned, etc., because I do not trust these platforms to handle it properly. I mean, every single time X comes out with a new update, there's always people complaining. Some of them are, ones deserve to be punished. Others are genuine accounts that are unhappy about the situation because of what it is. And, like, obviously you're not going to win. You're going to make people unhappy no matter what. But when it comes to regulating content, there needs to be certain, and obviously there needs to be some sort of regulation, but it needs to be far and few between.
I have the solution to this problem. Regulate the things I don't like, and don't regulate the things I do like.
Oh my god, Arch.
Destroy all aggregator channels. Delete them off the internet. Crush those who repost other people's things. Drive them before you and hear the lamentation of their women as their paycheck disappears. And I'm mostly serious on that. Like, again, Disclose TV, just take away all of it. Just take their monetization away immediately. Because malice. Engagement farming. And I don't like... Okay, so... Rather than... Because what we're kind of talking about here is also the content creation part of it, right? Because that's why people go to Twitter and YouTube, etc., to watch content being created. Okay, well, this isn't content being created. This is content that has already been created, that is reposted by a person who has had nothing to do with creating the content. Should be discouraged, in my opinion. Discouraged greatly. So, demonetize the entire channel, demonetize just the post. You repost somebody else's stuff, no commentary, no nothing. Okay, you don't earn any money from that because you didn't do any work. Reposting just a random clip, but at least with an impression, not sure. Like, because this isn't really adding anything, but this is where things get even more difficult when we're trying to judge what if somebody's adding anything of worth, right? And you can definitely argue that this and this is kind of the similar, because they're both commentating on something. This is a commentary on something wider, with an example, and this is simply a commentary on the thing. I would put these mostly on the same platform, Whereas this, I would again say, just isn't content. So if you want to encourage content, encourage as much of this as you can, a little bit less this, disincentivize this, and destroy this. That's my grading.
I mean, I guess I can agree to that to a decent extent here. Because disclosing TV definitely needs a slap on the wrist. You know, maybe not actually remove their monetization completely, just temporary, like you said. That would be, in my personal opinion, the best way to handle them. The Mario guy, I still think that's actually that bad, but I get your point there. It's just they need to have some sort of like, and this is going to be very dangerous territory too, some sort of AI or integration system where they can actually figure out how many videos of the sorry, let me rephrase this. The video being reposted, from different accounts, or if it's from YouTube, or whatever the case is, because YouTube does have a similar system where multiple people post the same video and then it doesn't get the same view count, or it gets taken off because it's just reposting a different the same video to a different place. So there's already an algorithm that YouTube kind of built to handle that situation. And so if Twitter is trying to actually push original content, they need to have something similar to that, because there are a lot of engagement debate accounts that just repost the same video every 6 months, and for it, and it's really annoying. But it's you just kind of ignore it too. So either they need to put that system in, which I feel like that's dangerous. So once again, I don't really trust these companies and their algorithms and their systems. But I do think we should maybe create a culture of essentially shame for these people, because a lot of people know about clickbait, right? Everybody's been making fun of like the thumbnails where it's being like, "Oh, it's over," and like bright red text and a black background and the person there, right? Everybody knows it's slop, right? And same with these repost accounts for posting the same video over and over again. Everybody can recognize it's slop unless you're brand new to the platform literally yesterday. But even you can learn this too. The only people falling for it are going to be the low IQ and boomers for this, and they're already a lost cause just by one being a boomer and two being low IQ. So the only thing you can do is really create a culture of shame for this kind of stuff, for the most of it.
And culture is the only thing you can actually actively do this more successfully, because otherwise you're gonna end up like YouTube, where it's an arms race between people who are trying to abuse the system and people who are trying to people try to abuse the system, and then the algorithm is trying to beat these people who abuse it down to a pulp, but then people are getting caught in crossfire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the best thing
and not to mention, there's a lot of times where people repost something not knowing where the original came from. They thought it was funny, or whatever the case is too. And obviously I would hope they would add some sort of commentary to it. But once again, going back to the whole memes thing, are we going to be copywriting memes and watermarking them too? There's different degrees to this. Disclose deserves the slap. Everybody else,
Well, here's the thing, right? Because right now also there's been a wave of demonetization on YouTube surrounding the idea of inauthentic content. And there's been a lot of demonstrably mistaken claims there, with channels that do put in a lot of effort, but maybe use AI for visuals or voice acting, for example. Which there's some things I do believe should be restricted there. I don't love the idea of AI voice acting, for example. If you're using just the regular AI voice that isn't really, anybody's voice, just a computer, then okay, who the fuck cares? If you're using the Attenborough voice, for example, okay, no, I don't think you get to I don't think you get to monetize that, because that's not you. But inauthentic content is kind of what I'm talking about here. If you're making a video that you're just re-uploading occasionally, or just a meme compilation or something, I don't know if I agree with your ability to monetize that, because I do think we need to heighten creativity. And the only way to do that really is to punish the lack of it. And we don't need to create so much a culture around it, because the culture has failed. There's far too many 70-year-old boomers out there that have been one-shot by AI slop for that to work. Instead, I propose a different approach. Fear.
The Conrad Curse approach. I'm interested now.
Yes, because I tell you this, if you make it clear that a guy from X will just take away your monetization if you do something like this, a lot
They'll be afraid
fewer.
to post anything.
Yeah, a lot
People would
fewer
not
people are
post
going to do
anything.
that.
I mean, I agree, but then again,
see
like,
what you
what
mean.
is inauthentic content that feels like once again a broad basket or a slippery
Yes.
slope? Like it's
But a
it's I don't know.
freedom of
I-
expression.
Yeah, I listen. I know I'm relatively new to the content creation space, but I've been a lurker for a very long time, and I've watched too many of my favorite people go down the drain thanks to these broad terms that get slapped on them and lose their monetization of the channels completely. And most of it has been the political side of things, where this is a wrong thing here. But like, I'm too hesitant to use this as a general rule of thumb. Like there's a time and place, yes, but we need to be very careful how we expand this.
Well, the difficult is defining it specifically and broadly, because I do think it's actually a good thing that we do push against genuinely inauthentic content. If somebody simply remakes a thing that has already been made and then slaps their own logo on it, yeah, that is unauthentic content and it shouldn't be rewarded. But there's also another thing as well, and that is how you do it. For example, you can take a subject, a historical subject, the Battle of France, and you make a video about that, and somebody else makes a video about that too. So is this inauthentic content because one uses an AI thumbnail and the other doesn't? No. And you can cover the same conflict in countless different ways. I mean, you could spend hours talking about the invasion of France and not even cover a third of it. So, God, this it's a disgusting number of fucking AI little... God, getting a little bit upset now with the AI thumbnails.
I get
Says the
triggered
one
with
who
the
use
tank I
AI
see in
thumbnails.
images. 'Cause
You use AI thumbnails for
the only
like
tanks
2
that look like
months.
this, like in World War II, was the tigers or maybe the leopards, but they were not even in service during the time. So I hate this image.
Like, I use the AI for composition, not for, like, just straight up images like this. This is... It's just
But they
awful
changed your
looking.
face a little bit, but I get your point. Oh.
So,
I get your point. There's definitely an AI, like, I don't know. I don't know why they're using AI for the thumbnails, because it's very obvious that it is, and it's just got this really fake effect that nobody really likes.
that's easy,
But-
I guess.
Yeah,
But
but
well.
here's the thing. It's kind of like you see a lot of people use in my Discord, for instance. I'm just gonna say there's a porn section we have, and a lot of people, everyone use like AI for porn because it is slop. It is slop in that sense. And when people use AI, you can customize the complete image and spend like 2 hours making it very nice, or you can spend like 2 minutes making it instead. It's all about cost and efficiency. And if you're making a lot of images like this and a lot of videos, then this is just going to be more cost efficient or time efficient.
And that's kind of like a good way of putting it too, because, like, okay, inauthentic content, what is it? It's making something in like just the first draft, basically, without adding much to it. And it's definitely a lot harder with videos, because this might actually be a fantastic take on the fall of France. I doubt it, because the arrows are going the wrong way and so on. But
Even notice it.
like it could be.
Out of Poland. It was France all along.
Whereas, like, again, this obviously isn't content, and this isn't content. So, I don't know. I want to see some kind of standard enforced, because I do agree that there is such a thing as inauthentic content. I just have no idea how we can accurately judge and quantify it. On Twitter, I think it's very easy. Again, if you just repost somebody else's stuff and you crop out their watermark, okay, yito delito. If you just repost somebody's stuff but keep the watermark, okay, demonetize the post. On YouTube, it's a lot harder. And there's been a lot of mistakes. Like, I've seen so many channels that I've looked at and go like, no, this is actually like they've put in the effort here. But they've clearly used perhaps a bit too much AI, or they've covered a subject in too much of a similar way as everybody else, etc. Yeah.
No, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not in complete disagreement with you here,
Here's
especially
the
over the
question.
disclosed TV
Fire
thing.
is
It's
the
just my
answer.
hesitancy overall. Though I think also part of the problem is to taking a platform like Twitter and trying to monetize it in general for content purposes. So like that's the other issue. Is it really worth being paid for tweeting? Like versus actually making a video or streaming for hours on YouTube or a similar platform?
The thing
Like
is,
that's
Amal, okay, making a video may take like, if you're making slop videos, like very quick, like videos, you can just make some of them like, probably like, if you were to try to mass speed them, like with a sort of thing on YouTube, should we say probably 3 hour per video, like per time, and you're trying to go through very quickly. However, on X, you can just like re-upload any type of like, because you can just save templates of anything you scroll past, like doom scrolling, that may get something. You can just save it and then just wait a month and just repost it with a different caption or different thing that's more
So
relevant.
I see that
I
so
hate
often.
it.
I hate it so much.
It's-
I see like the
I do
same
too.
post a month later. Like,
And-
you didn't make that, you filthy whore.
And the worst part about it is basically it makes it, the algorithm just feeds into it, so you just see more of this fucking slop, and I get fucking annoyed.
yeah. But I mean, frankly, I benefit from Twitter being monetized myself because I was able to get monetized. But like at the end of the day, if it completely got rid of it, it probably would make the platform a lot better. Just because of it's such an easy algorithm to abuse, and you don't need
The issue is
Twitter to be
incentives
monetized.
people get, and you will spawn these. It's kind of like in World of Warcraft, where you can basically, because like it's kind of like the thing where if you give people the option to earn money through a certain way, people will find a way to maximize the income from it, because people are willing to pay for the thing, which is to X at this point, because they want people to use the platform. So they incentivize people to use it more, like professionally, through giving them money. So now people find a way to abuse the reward system in it. It's kind of like the same thing people abuse the dopamine system in their minds.
Yep. And speaking of abusing reward systems, you got a $50 super over on Kick Arch. Check it out.
We are
That's
the
not an
abusive
abuse.
system
That is the
helps you to
correct
use it.
usage of the reward system.
Well, you understand why it's abuse once you actually read the message.
Well, I'll just not read it if he's going to be mean about it. Then I'll just call him gay and ignore him forever and ever.
It's 5,000 warp tokens. You better fucking read that, you Jew.
What is a warp token worth in Swedish crowns?
I have no idea. I'm just making assumptions. If I was a Jew, I'd definitely enforce my own fucking rules on what I would and would not read. How do you think I came to rule Hollywood? Silly. I should get back to Super Chat. But search Dragon Zero for 1,000 warp tokens, shouting out Post and the Fed Divers on the website where truth and anime reign supreme. Mal's welcome with open arms. May Graph reign supreme. Mal should not be welcome anywhere. She will ruin your house, your home, and your family.
True. That's what happens when you're Indian.
The Inner Circle Arch pays more attention to YouTube Super Chat rather than Kick. And his message goal is to prove that point. I try to pay more attention to Kick. I do. I've been thinking about trying to just read Kick more, but the problem is I can't read anything half the time. This is my New Year's promise that I'll read chat more. I've promised myself that every year since I grew of age. I've yet to hold it, but I'll get there. Anyways, the point is, take away all of Disclosed TV's money and put Mario in jail. And that's roughly my position on the matter. Genguin, Atari. The real law is if Öresund freezes over and a Swede walks across the ice into Denmark, Danes are allowed to hit them with a stick. There you go. Until they die. Mr. Bob, at this point, as someone from New Zealand, I'm going to vote no confidence this time around and for the foreseeable future, as I have no faith in any party. Consider picking up a stick and rebelling against your government. Don't. They'll attack you with more than sticks, but think about it. Saint Raphael, generational guilt is also a massive factor, at least here in Germany. You get inundated with it for many years in school and later by media, which is why you must pick up the virgin windmills and use them. Use them. Before you pick up the hammer and sickle. In a circle for $50 or 500 IDRs, which I'm assuming is roughly the same. I hate YouTube limiting how much we can super chat. Is Miley Alcock beautiful chat? I think she's 6 out of 10 at best. Miley, if you put enough makeup on her, Miley's an 8. But without makeup and in the wrong angle, like during Game of Thrones, I mean, she's heading towards 4 territory. She's got some heavy-duty fetal alcohol syndrome there on more than one occasion. But I don't think she necessarily makes a bad Supergirl, so... Emo Otaku. Merkel is the most dangerous of people, a German true believer. Only thing Merkel believes in is the ability to eat the children. Which she is good at. She has eaten many children.
Heresy's the question. Fire is the answer.
Marine Alva, didn't the adult star-turned-politicians Eleanor Sikaliona Stella come from Sweden? Isn't she promoted to EU Parliament? Probably. All Swedes are whores, as we know. Speaking of whores... Also, I had a life lesson that I wanted to impart onto Mal. But first... Philip Finov sent 2,000 tokens, warp tokens, thank you. Atari, it is 462.75 Swedish kroners. There you go.
Okay. So divided by 10, gotcha.
I had a valuable life lesson for Mal. Okay, so if you do
Jesus
porn,
Christ.
Mal,
I never.
a day may come when you regret it. Atari, you can get in on this too. If you do porn one day...
Well,
a day
I
may
did have
arrive.
a fancy account, so...
Oh, that's right. Didn't you get yeeted of OnlyFans because Swedish law?
Yes, I complained about it. And
well,
I
then
remember
used-
this now.
Wait, hold on. What?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't post. I am heavily against posting nudity because I hate it. Because I don't find nudity appealing in the slightest. Teasing, however, is the way to go. And the issue is Sweden had was kind of like you're not allowed to take any. Like, you're still allowed to post stuff on Sweden by the laws, but you can't take. Here's the thing, because Sweden is so kind of like a little bit special. We don't want to give women any. We don't want to put women in any sort of compromising positions. So you can't take any suggestions that anyone could possibly give you in DMs or even when you're live, because potentially when you're live you could get suggestions from people for monetary gain. It's not allowed in Sweden. You cannot take any monetary suggestion to anything, if it's porn related or suggestives related even. So
Weird,
a
but
lot of places.
okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, but however, you still. However, what they just did is because it links you, so you can't any account linked to Sweden like business. You cannot do any live streaming on any OnlyFans, fans do anything else. However, what they ended up doing is making people get contact with someone in America or somewhere else in a different country. So basically, what they just made is a lot of Swede OnlyFans creators are now just hiring pimps to do it for them in their country and then send them money afterwards. Because Swedes only when people in Sweden make laws, they only think of how it looks for someone like how the laws look. They're only eye pleasers when it comes to lawmaking because they're women.
Okay. Well, that's a little bit parted, but
Well, it's Sweden politics in a nutshell. It's basically we are a bunch of eye pleasers. We make stuff that sounds good but not actually functional.
I'm gonna get women out of politics and stop overregulating.
Man, it's for another stream when it comes to like how retarded some of the Swedish things usually are, or like how double standard it usually is to a lot of things.
But the point is, if either of you do porn,
No.
they're not going to delete it if a few years later you go, "Oh, I wish my mulatto son didn't get to see my asshole be stretched open on the internet like that."
And, okay, I just want to point out, like, okay, one, she goes from very attractive. So I get, okay, she's got a little bit of mob bum going on because she had a baby, but it's a mixed kid, and she has the audacity to say that I want my son to be proud of his mother after she spent her hottest years of her life being a porn star. Also, he's not gonna be proud of his mother because one, he's mixed, and two, she was a porn star. So like, you can't get rid of that no matter what. Like she's absolutely
But
retarded.
now,
Like these
if
women do not think.
everyone's mom is a porn star, then no one can make fun of you.
Also,
I mean, yeah,
that's
so
the
there's
core of
still
Mal's
shame enough.
argument. Like Mummy's really sorry. Mummy's asshole is on the internet. Mummy apologizes, young boy. Boy is not upset that your asshole is on the internet. I'm upset. I'm mixed.
Well, yes. I mean, she lowered his IQ by doing that. But
God.
but anyways, like
There's no
um,
scientific evidence on YouTube that this is real. Ignore Mal.
Mal's gonna try to get you in trouble.
but I mean, am I wrong? Anyways, here, but like that's
Abba.
like these women don't think of anything beyond the instant gratification of the attention they get and the possible money they can get
Like,
as well.
That's the thing, because any woman who's been in porn for longer, like up to their like in the 35s, they look back and say, "Yo, yeah, no, this came with a lot of things that didn't." It's like you say, it's like early gratification, and a lot of women who even goes out of this thing. Because I've talked to a lot of them, I know a lot of them, and they kind of look back to these days when they're like just hitting 30 and thinking, oh yeah, I had so many guys like give me attention and stuff and they love me for who I am. But no, guys, it is kind of like they're just chasing a high of attention, and money of course is like a big dopamine gain from it. But
And
at
the
the end
worst
of the
part
day,
is, a
once
lot
they
of
hit
these
40,
girls.
they understand, like, because now they hit to the point where wisdom comes to their mind, and now they kind of sees what they gave them, and it's been now they have struggles with a lot of other things essentially, or they just wasted a lot of their time not focusing on an actual job or a family, and it makes it harder for them to find a family as well. Because the
Well, a lot of
relationship
these
part of it is
girls, the
broken.
successful ones, can usually get away with being used goods. So it's Captain Save-A-Ho that goes and saves the day, which is a different
Yeah,
story
that is true.
there. But at the same time, the ones that tried and failed because they weren't successful, different story with them.
But it's kind of like a
Also, the
mental
thing
issue
is,
that comes with it.
well, yes, if you're a porn star, you have mental issues. Usually women that go into sex acts were, well, at least the actual legit porn stars were sexually abused as a kid, or got themselves into deep trouble when they were a teenager, and they didn't actually have the protections from the family that they should have had. The girls that are just joining OnlyFans the past 6 years since COVID, they're just in it for the quick buck because feminism has allowed them to be sex positive. Ooh, yay. But it wasn't that long ago, right? Like my grandma's generation, though my grandma's quite old for being my grandma because of the age differences that I have in my family, but besides the point, like you were completely like condemned for doing this kind of stuff. It was heavily like, persuaded not to actually do this. You would be called a whore, you would be shamed. There would be this social pressure not to actually do it, and you knew not to. But over the past 20 years, plus technically we've actually completely changed the culture where it is widely acceptable for women to do this, but men actually still don't even like it. There's going to be some men that are going to be okay with it, Arch, but most aren't,
Here's the
and
thing:
then
what
they're going to deal
makes
with the
guys not
consequences.
into it in reality is basically because I noticed it a lot with guys who likes this sort of thing, and it is usually when they notice a girl is talking to multiple other guys at the same or similar time frame. That's funny because it's basically the whole NTR kind of thing that makes guys just innately annoyed at it or angry.
Oh yeah, because women are supposed to be property. Like, I'm not even really.
Yeah.
I know sounds a little bit extreme. I guess it's probably made more of an extreme situation to do it. But one man can impregnate 6 women. One woman can only be impregnated by one man.
It's
Like,
just
women are.
subjective in that case.
Yeah, like women are the weaker sex. Like they're supposed to be within the household or working on the farm because before technology happened, they did actually work, right? They sewed, they had to wash everything by hand. Like it's not like they stayed in this little tower and didn't do anything all day except play with kids, right? They did actually do work and contribute. But they've always been the weaker sex. There's been multiple wars to fight over them. They've always been prized possessions of men. Um, now they're getting used by multiple different men. They're devaluing themselves on multiple different scales with each body they collect, in each relationship, because it shows that they're not so
Heresy's the
special
question.
anymore, and
Fire is
they're
the
not
answer.
exactly marriage material because they don't actually have the qualities to become married that men actually find desirable.
Hmm.
What now?
I like how you brought this up and as a way to shame me and Atari for possibly becoming porn stars, and then you already like tuned
No,
out
it
the
was just me.
conversation.
I made a joke to one of my like when I started becoming like a carpenter or something. Like I made a joke to one of my colleagues who like took me under his wing, saying, he asked me, "Oh, Atari, what do you want to be when you like later on in the future? What do you see yourself?" I'm like, "I want to be a porn star," and he was like, "Go get him." I said it's a joke, but unironically, it's not. Luckily, I've not gone to that depravity yet, or like, and I hopefully never will. But uh, I've been very close to doing it, considering the amount of friends I've been surrounded with who actually went that route.
I mean, you're a guy, so it's not as bad as a woman does it, but
A
it's still
good-looking
not
guy.
great. Yeah, but like it's still not good. Like sleeping around for men is
Oh no.
damaging as
It
well.
is. I feel like after I became a certain age, like once I started hitting my mid-20s, it was kind of like I you gain nothing from sleeping around. If anything, I dodged every STD. I was like, okay, I dodged a lot of bullets. Don't want to dodge anymore, and I don't want to put myself in a situation. And if anything, it doesn't continue what I actually want in my end goal, which is find a partner. Because if I sleep around, it's just gonna make it worse. And I've noticed that I started finding any type of relationship, like thought of it, of building connection, just became harder and harder. I was like,
Yes, it
okay, I
damages
need
your
to
pair
stop sleeping around.
bonding.
Yeah,
Like it hurts
exactly.
women more extremely because once again, one woman and one man versus multiple women, but it still affects the pair bonding for men. It's just slightly different how it works there. And so men shouldn't sleep around either. It's okay if they have a little bit of a body count because it does show they can actually get women. There's some sort of value there. There's a reason why women like, married men after all. But there still needs to be some sort of limit and shouldn't be societally acceptable for that to be the case. Anyway, Archie, you want to go back to the super chat? So I know you're zoning out here.
Also, Porkers, I see you in chat. You can just hop in. What the fuck is that image? Apparently, it's not disturbed. Let's
Okay,
see.
well the difference is one, the guy in the background's twice his age and also about twice his weight. If he lost the weight, he would probably look a lot better. Then he just has the old age to kind of blame. But
Sense
like
bad
men age
genetics.
like wine. Not to mention the guy in the picture looks a little bit too gay coded with how he's posing in the face shape there.
Amal, what are you trying to say?
Well, I like
You're
older
saying,
men, yes.
of course you do.
And I like masculine men too. I don't know the way that
Okay,
guy's
so
he's too Asian pretty boy for me
uh,
with the face.
okay. So I think So chat. Amal is actually into fat ugly bastard from every hentai. Gotcha.
I mean, if they just lost the weight, most of the time they'd be okay. Like it's like there's a difference there. So I guess kind of yes. Like you're gonna find a better quality guy with the guy that's a little bit slightly overweight than the vain gym bro with the pretty boy clavicular face.
Arch, what do you think of this? Fat ugly bastard or Korean twink?
I think that we should all just settle down and utilize the made-for-adult Pokemon toys to satisfy our needs instead.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I literally have
Oh.
like 5 minutes, but I just want to address your concern, Atari. This is so sad. I work on Saturdays now. No more ArchCast report
Oh.
for 3 to 4 months. It's very sad. This new shift, it got me dying. But I do have 3 days off. So I hope you guys are having a great stream. I got to get back to it, etc. Okay. Hello, chats.
Oh.
Hello, Arch. Hello, Atari. Hello, Mal.
Hello.
Obligatory
birthday.
loud laughter at crazy thing that Mal says. Okay, we've gotten it all in. Thank you. All right, love you guys. Bye.
But was I wrong? Bye.
Love you, Parker. Mwah.
I didn't hear her say I was wrong though.
So, now that we've all come to the conclusion that we should use the adult Pokemon instead, I can indeed do the Super Chats.
80 plus 20. I didn't see that. Oh god. I thought you were joking at first.
The holes are not for children.
See, the thing is, they're still actually kind of cute. So, like,
What do you?
If I didn't see the sign,
What do you mean by
I-
this?
well, look at them. Like, look at the plushies. If you didn't see the sign there, you just think it's a normal like Pokemon plushie. You'd be like,
Oh,
oh,
thank
I would get
God. I
one.
thought you meant like, oh, this is still cute. Falling down paths.
well, yeah. If I didn't see the whole of the sign, I would probably actually pick one and buy one because they're adorable.
Yeah, but
Like, they did not like. There's a reason that sign needs to be a lot bigger because they really do actually look like toys. Well, I guess you need not like actual plushies, not sex toys.
Ugh. Yeah, it's an American store. It's not a Japanese one, luckily.
Sentinel Rex, Kryptonians are basically the Austrian painter's ideal image of perfection, but from space. Supergirl should be an absolutely unattainable beauty. Depends on your Supergirl. So, see, there's been quite a few iterations of Supergirl. The most recent one, and with the worst movies, is the Pretty Girl Supergirl. And that is more your Kryptonian, like, Ubermensch perfection style character. But I don't like her like that, because she's just the naive, dumb, lost, lonely kid, which is boring.
Are you ready to read this yellow
I
magical lettering
much
code?
prefer the sassy, troublemaking teenager version of Supergirl. The mirror to her cousin, because Superman's always like very controlled, very perfect, does everything properly. Meanwhile, Supergirl is the tornado character that runs around and might tear down entire buildings while she's rescuing someone. That's fun. That makes her special and makes her different from Supergirl. And this is the same problem that we have with Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is just a Superman character at this point, which is boring. We need differences in our comic book characters. Differentials, personalities, things. 12 Turd. Origin story is good. Supergirl is all raised as Kryptonian, so she's the kind of racist like Zod, seeing humans as primitives, and is forced by her younger cousin to serve humans. So, that is another one, by the way, as well, which I think is more of the modern take, where she comes to Earth already as a teenager and finds Earth to be horribly primitive. That one's also kind of interesting, but I don't know where you go from there. You know, what's the... Because that's the Supergirl that goes to the future. That's literally this Supergirl. Because where do you go? Okay, she thinks we're Amish, basically. How does this develop as a character other than tolerance, I guess? Marine Albert, we need a Jelly Mal emote. Just Jello Mal? Just wobbly Mal? Sandu, Gorlock, Firstborn Ogren. Or Chickadoo Arch, you will only get more money if you move to the US. I have considered it, but I hear that you have a lot of Browns over there that commit a tremendous amount of crime.
You'll be fine.
Roberts, Arch, you need to chat GPT. Write an essay to buy that ship. Mr. Twisted Frenzy, Merkel is the witch of the Germans' wonders about from Hansel and Gretel. Doom Eternal Fun. Yes, she is. Now, in fact, the witch is worse, because the witch was only doing this to survive. Merkel does this for pleasure. She eats the children because she likes it, not because she requires nourishment. There's a difference between the two.
My God.
A very, very large difference between the two. Doom Eternal. Marinelva, Star Citizen needs to take on the EVE Online model, but it doesn't earn as much money, though. Zuluxon, all 3 types must be raped to death with hot curling irons.
Pardon?
Just what we need to do with our politicians. It's just what has to happen.
The
Sometimes
Malian solution, I'm gonna call it.
Sometimes you gotta do the hard things. Real Arch, just go play Space Engineers. Maybe. Mr. Rich Low Pitch, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it the Star Citizen is a money laundering operation? 0, because it's too stupid. It's too ridiculous not to be true. Furikazan, Dentari shilling for Lego. Who's not surprised? Dentari. I get it now. Atari wants Lego because he's Danish. I understood.
I'm not Danish. I'm Swedish. They just don't believe their lies.
Legoland.
The horror-filled lies.
Marialva, Lego looks at GW prices and laughs and says, hold my bear. They do. Twisted Bricks has some awesome stop-motion animations in their own grim, dark, void setting. Blaystone, late and quick question. But has anyone brought up the whole bricks and minifig scandal? Tons of money was basically stolen from family where recently Utah police have been implicated as corrupted and harassing innocent people. Homestuck Fund.
Yeah, that's the same story.
Yeah, I know nothing of it, sadly.
I think there's some videos you can watch it, and you're gonna, depending on which video you're gonna watch, if you watch from the original creator who was just tried it, you gotta have an aneurysm if you know anything about law and try to watch, because the guy who asked a YouTuber to help him out is doing everything wrong in the book to basically make the law, the legal situation even worse for their family.
Simulation. Amal, congratulations on being a Sky Browse video and becoming his thumbnail. Arted to see his tech demo AI animation video for X-Men. I did not.
I'm very honored to be that. I can't believe he did that, but I'm very happy.
What did you do, Mal?
Actually, it's good. So there's this guy named Skybrowse who makes these amazing AI videos. He's like used to be a CGI artist and I think a storyboard. There's something else. So basically, he's definitely a professional in this craft, and he's been using AI to kind of as a tool to kind of hone it even more. And he usually makes a bunch of cool videos with VTubers and like other like memes and various things too. And I was in his most recent, well, not the most recent because he's released another one, but second the most recent video there. As my first time being shown, and then he made me the thumbnail afterwards. So I'm very honored to be that to be it.
I don't know if I believe you, Mal.
I look
Always.
amazing in there. It's very good, very very good.
I don't know, Mal. I think you might be lying to me.
Well, I'm a woman. I always lie.
Well, there you go.
Marksman, new Dungeon Soup episode, Barbarian versus Oni Demon. I only got through about half of it before the joke got a little bit stale for me. That's the problem with binge watching it. You gotta watch it one by one. Check it out, Arch new channel idea, monetize or demonetize, where you go through a judge reposts like this. Ooh, all of them demonetized. As many as possible, preferably. Sidewings Raging. When is Inquisitor Arch going to do the lore and the greatest logistical mind mankind ever produced? He is your father, Malkador. When am I going to do videos on all of the things? Christian. Maybe, sometimes, maybe never. Sentinel Rex, if I make a video of the invasion of France and use AI images and footage for the video, but I use my voice and purposely get every historical fact wrong, is that inauthentic content as well?
Question. Fire is the answer.
I wouldn't think so, because you're clearly putting in the effort in that case to make it wrong. If anything, it sounds more like a comedy skit at that point. Boog, here's 200, so you read chat less. If chat wants to be read, they should donate instead. That's true. Or they can get to a like goal. That's also true. I need to remember to set like goals, and I keep forgetting to do that. And I need to do it, because it actually does help, but I keep forgetting it. Or Chikador, she's wearing a Playboy bunny shirt. She is. The whore has no self-understanding. Main thread, Mel, you didn't answer the question earlier. Time for a Navy question. Boomer, reference to what class of submarine? You will learn military history.
But I don't want to learn military history. It hurts my brain.
Right.
And it
You're
bores
in
me.
You're in the wrong place on the internet, Mal. You gotta learn it.
Talk to me about people. I'm more interested in what the actual people did than the military equipment.
You will learn about World War II until morale improves. When you may get what you want about people.
My old take was that it was overrated. I've since changed that position, but I still don't have the interest in it that the autistic history nerds do.
And so you shall be reported.
To what? The
The
Stasi?
authorities. The Malcontent Art, how do you feel about seeing some chat music? I don't believe music is real. Simple as. My playthrough of that silly rhythm game should have proved this to you by now.
Oh god.
The Malcontent, can you and Pontius watch Pancreas No Work? Every Worm Fantasy faction. Physically, we can. If we will, that's a different question. Blaystone, if you haven't heard anything about the Brex and Minigus situation, big recommend to watch Reckless Ben's video on his investigation. Genuinely crazy stuff. And unlike most documentaries, Ben shows all the receipts in the video on Stuck Fund. Mr. Frenzy, Art, any thoughts on the Master of the Universe movie? Doom Eternal Fund. I'm thinking of going to watch it just out of morbid curiosity, I guess. We'll see. We'll see. Mr. Frenzy again. Also, any update when the next Vampire stream will be? Doom Eternal Fund. Yes, it is next Sunday. So not this Sunday, but the next Sunday. That's when we're all back together and ready to play again. Which means I need to get back to planning out the next session too, which I've been lazy, because I was to Germany last time. So, next Sunday. Then we can have more Vampire, and everybody can be happy. Marksman, the last super chat of the day. Have you started Friendship with Benefits video? I have. Okay, so I got a strike or a warning, because that's the first thing you get. It's a warning, then you get a strike for one of the shorts that Disco uploaded. So I'm waiting for that to run out, which takes for fucking ever. How long does it even last? Active community guidelines. 90 days! Holy fucking shit.
Yep.
Jesus
It
Christ.
sucks.
That's fucking absurd. But I've got a video of a ecchi game that I want to upload as a test to see how YouTube reacts to it. And if it reacts,
it's gotta be a conflict for whatever you do. So.
Exactly. So, like, I'm going to use that as the judge, and if that passes by, then I can do videos, because I can go through and manually censor anything and everything in the video. So then that'll be the thing. It's just that damn guideline strike thingy, which is now going to last for fucking ever until August. Ugh.
Hey, that's like right after mine wears off.
Damn.
Stupid shit.
Oh god.
It is a complicated thing, but working on it. Oh, on Marine Alva, Robert Mel, people, it is U.S. Civil War, who was the Confederate general that led the last attack on the Union position in the Battle of Gettysburg.
Confederate general attacking the position in the Battle of Gettysburg. I'm gonna guess Lee.
I like that I
But
don't get
I'm
these questions
assuming-
because I'm brain drinking.
But I'm probably wrong here because, yeah.
Lee is a bit of a poor choice. Would you like to try
Try.
again? It's a famous one.
Hold on, let me Google.
Oh my god, Mal. Cheating.
What? Yeah, well, guess what? He's giving me a chance to guess again, so I'm gonna guess again. Oh, Pickett. Okay. Oh, Pickett's charge.
Yeah,
Chuck 'em
Pickett's
out.
charge. There
Chuck
we
'em
go. Look. The pieces fell into place in the Malian mind.
Yeah.
General George Pickett, who was ordered into the attack by Robert E. Lee, because Lee was like, I'm really shit at attacking. I'm losing a lot of men. Might as well lose a few more. And hey, might as well, right? Because then you'll wrap up the war and you'll finally be done with this shit.
If you already lost 1,000, what's another 200?
Yeah. He wanted to end the war one way or another, and this was his way to do it, by just finishing off the Confederates' hopes.
Besides, if we kill more of the male population, it'd be more women for me.
That also is true.
One day I will finish Brick, but today is not that day.
How have you not finished Brick yet?
Because it's boring. I'm sorry.
God damn it.
There's like a million. The worst part about this too is that I hate like I hate starting new books if I haven't finished a book already, and so like I have this like mental block in my head where like I can't start a different book, so I haven't finished Brick yet. But like I don't want to finish Brick because it's a slog to get through, and so I just haven't been reading, and it sucks. But like I've told myself I need to finish Brick before September, but. Well, you know, one day.
A sad and disappointing performance, to be sure.
Because there's so many other books that interest me, but like I won't allow myself to read them until I finish Brick. But like I'm not finishing Brick.
Oofy.
Anyways, with that chat, we are through for the day. Oh, well, close anyways. The malcontent, Mal, look up chat music. Bro got nerfed 4 times, and show it to Arch. I don't like music.
Sure?
I think music is gay and should be banned.
Yeah, Arch is fucked up like this. Like I know I'm a little bit special with my my connection with music, but like the fact to not like it at all is different. It's just fucking weird.
Oh my god.
Mal has brain damage. She can see music. She can see the noises.
Actually, yes. Well, I don't have synesthesia in the sense that I can see the colors, but I do associate music with colors, like albums and various things, and the songs that kind of go with it. And I definitely can paint the image in my mind. And I've been considering using AI to make music videos of some of my favorite songs with my character in it, and maybe start singing. But like that's that's like a dream, you know, of like yeah, that'd be kind of nice. But like then I have to learn how to use AI. Then I need to focus on my singing, and I'm too lazy to do all that.
Well, just do it.
Yes.
Yes, do it.
Just do it. It's not hard. Just do it
Oh.
now.
I'm sorry, I'm not Sheila LaBeouf.
Just do it.
You ignorant slut.
Hope you got our super.
No, Mandish said, Mal should read Blood Meridian. Mal should do so many things. Mal needs to start doing one thing and then move on to the other.
But-
Only when Mal has
but
done the
chat-
one thing.
You're forgetting Mal may be lazy and will not do it.
Maybe lazy. I am lazy.
Oh, there we go. we need a stick to smack her with to improve. What do you call it, Arch?
Morale?
Yes, there.
Physical punishment is the only thing that can benefit Mal now. It is harsh, but it is the only way.
It's the only thing that would go through her little animal brain to make her understand.
A tragedy, to be sure. And on that sad note, chat, thank you very much for watching today. Thank you for your super generous donations, as always. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Until then, chat, have a good night.
Night chat.
Bye.